Not the Chuddle.
Chuddle. Surprise.
Whoa.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Fuck good. If What the Actual Fuck was a movie, out of the mist and into the fog, it's Chuddle the Pod.
Salutations, cherished Chuddle Club members, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Chuddle the Pod Horror Movie Club. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to kick off another meeting tonight where we're going to chuddle along to Child's Play 3. But before we get to that, we got to say... Damn it.
What?
To my co-occupants of the pod.
Yeah.
Ross and Sam. Ross.
Oh, hey.
Sam.
Sup?
Thanks for doing your things. I love to hear it, huh? That's
there
what I
we
do.
go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Gotcha.
There he is.
All right. And since we're...
I'm your friend till the end.
Oh, thanks, bud.
Aw.
Sam?
Sup?
What polar opposites?
Wow.
Beautiful. I love it. I'll remember that when we're sleeping in a room together soon. But
Oh shoot! hold
Child's
up.
Play. We got to continue this franchise, so we had to bring back those beautiful voices that you hear chiming in. Cody and Sergio from the Horror Bandwagon are Chucky experts.
Yes, here we are, the Chucky knowledge brain. We're crashing in.
The S at the end of experts is doing a whole lot of work for me.
I do like how you said like we had to bring them in. It's in their contract. We have no other
had to
option
at this point.
It's a stipulation.
It
It's
has to be done.
ironclad. We've
Yep.
tried to get out of it.
Well, honestly, I feel like we should switch it up every episode we're on. Like we introduce you guys next time. Like, hello, Chuddle geezers. We're ready to roll. This is
We're coming in real high.
This is gonna go well, yeah.
I would love for you to write the intro and
great.
do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're there for it. Be ready
You're
for
gonna
it.
start
Perfect.
hosting the franchise episodes.
Bride of Chucky. That's what's next.
Yep.
I'm there.
honestly that fits. It's very meta.
It's perfect. It's a marriage of Chucky of sorts, and it's a marriage of our podcast, I guess. And
Wait,
so
that actually is poetic. Hold up. I
There we
like
go.
that.
I think we could be described as the Tiffany to your Chucky.
There you go.
It's Kismet.
Aw.
Yes.
But we're
Kismet.
jumping ahead.
Oh
We're
yeah,
getting a little ahead of
So sorry.
ourselves.
We don't know what that means.
So is Tiffany.
We have no idea what any of this means. We have to go ahead and first thank our beautiful patrons. So, hey, thank you guys. And thank all of you patrons out there as well. Our covenant of which is your sacrifice gives us life. And we thank your beautiful souls. Jump in to the Patreon as well. We would love to have you there. Special Discord, special episodes dropping all the time. You're seeing our faces a lot more over there if you're watching the videos.
It's wild.
You
it's
got
wild
YouTube videos now. Holy look
Oh
at
yeah,
you
we
guys.
put up some
Oh,
YouTube
yeah.
videos. I mean, that's just for everyone at this point. So we
Our
don't
yeah,
even
faces
sorry,
have
sorry.
been released.
jump on the YouTube. Get onto our YouTube. That's the first place that we were
There's
just
gonna
like.
be more faces on there.
Oh shoot.
We're trying to get any of our interview stuff out there and just put a lot more out of there. But patrons are always going to have access to that content first, and a whole bunch of other content as well.
Contraception.
So
There's-
much content. And with that, we're going to go
Branded.
ahead and say, hey, thanks, guys, because here we go, because you're all here and present and accounted for. I'm reading like 2 lines of my script at once, and they're not matching up right for me.
Oh, no.
So crack it
That
open the
makes
booga.
sense.
The booga.
See, Brian, this is what happens when you start doing the incantation of Child's Play for the actual thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly. I accidentally pressed the wrong buttons. I'm going wild tonight. Goo book, open, stamped, signed, splatted on. Let's
Signed,
get tonight's
sealed.
meeting going.
Delivered.
Always Dewey Dumbala.
Give me that goo. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Our first order of business for tonight, as always, is our spoiler-free goonopsis. Chucky returns for revenge against Andy, the young boy who defeated him, and now a teenager living in a military academy. I mean, that's right there. I mean, that's as
Yeah.
Yep.
dead on as
Could have been
it
written a
takes.
little better, but you don't need more
It's
than
written
that. That's pretty
very-
accurate.
terribly.
Poorly.
Yeah. I don't know if it's
Almost as
necessarily
badly as how I speak.
I don't know if it's
As how
necessarily
as I
revenge versus necessity, but I'll roll with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at this point,
Okay.
he's pissed. He's just,
I mean,
It is
yeah.
revenge,
Really
right?
upset.
Yeah. Oh, it's got to be. But it doesn't. He doesn't even. Well, hey, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
And I wrote that tagline. I didn't
Play
really
on
wait
this.
that tagline, but the joke, I wrote that tagline.
There you go.
there you go. There you go.
Goonopsis. Excuse me. Toe taglines are coming up now. Look who's stalking. Because, look who's talking.
Look who's talking.
Was probably
Oh,
popular
okay.
at the time.
Around this time, yeah. That was always
It's a very
look who's
of the
stalking
time
now fan.
tagline.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Imagine that'd be fun to have no concept of look who's talking and be like, oh,
Look
look
who's
who's
stalking.
stalking. Cool. I guess that works. Yeah, sure.
Sure, yeah.
There comes a time to put away childhood things, but some things just won't stay put.
Oh, nice. I like that they use a
Sure.
line of
I
dialogue
get
from
it.
the movie to.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
That's actually, I like that one.
It's a little wordy, but I mean, it's for a tagline, but
Eh,
it
Yeah, I
works.
see that. Yeah.
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 I like
I'm
mine
with
short
it,
and
though.
sweet, but I'm with it. Exactly.
I'm
Compared
gonna
to
go
what
ahead
comes
and
next.
Give me a stamp of I'm with it. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you want a stamp? I'll get you a stamp of I'm with it. Chucky goes ballistic.
No.
Really?
Okay.
That was a tagline?
Who is part of the
I mean,
marketing
I
team
guess-
at this point? Well, they had less time this time to figure stuff out.
I mean, you
He
can only
does use a
imagine.
gun, right? He does go
It-
ballistic.
I mean, essentially, yes, he does use a
X
gun here,
versus
but
Sever.
like, this is no X versus Sever. I'll tell you that much.
Mhm.
God, I want to see X versus Sever versus Chucky.
Oh my god.
Ballistic too. I don't know. And Chucky has a new playmate, which he does, and I think that one actually works pretty well, but is still with what the movie does is kind of.
Mhm.
I wish. We'll get into it again.
We sure will.
Who made
we'll
this
get
one?
into it again.
Yeah, we'll get into getting into it again as well. Who made it? Chucky. Didn't make it.
He
did.
He did.
Child's Play
This
though. was,
first one, he stepped behind the camera.
yeah, he decided he was gonna really present
Dabble with-
his story. You
Yeah.
know, he's had other people writing his vision. Now it's time for him to. Jack Bender directed this one with Don Mancini getting writing credits again. Justin Whalen as Andy Barclay. Perry
What's up?
Reeves as Da Silva. Jeremy Silvers as Tyler. Travis Fine as Shelton. Dean Jacobson as Whitehurst. Brad Dourif as our Chucky. Peter Haskell as Sullivan. And Dakin Matthews as Colonel Cochran. And plenty more in the cast.
Dakin Matthews? I have a friend named Matt Dakin. How fun.
Oh, fun.
Flip it, reverse it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like it.
Shut up.
Cool. Maybe they're related.
maybe it's him.
Is that how names work? They're kinda similar.
Justin Whalen. So I was a little disappointed we didn't have our Andy from the first two, and then I realized this movie came out 10 months after the original or the second one. I
Yes.
was like,
Yeah, a little
okay.
tough.
The timeline
That would be
here
hard
is
to
a
do.
little. I had to look into the timeline. And
8 years.
It's 8 years after 2, and then this is
Mhm.
just a month before Bride of Chucky.
Yeah. When I realized, I was like,
Oh,
wait a minute.
interesting.
While I was realizing it, I was like, does that conflict with Bride of Chucky? What's happening? But I think conveniently, 1998 came around and they're like, let's do it.
Let's just do it.
right.
I like that they wait 7 years.
Yeah.
Well, they
they go,
wanted to
"It's
let
just
the
a month."
timeline reset again. That's the important
Exactly.
thing.
They're like, we can't do this to the fans. We gotta wait.
And this is why I say this is the most convenient, the most consistent franchise. They're like, no record, no. We're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep whatever we said previously.
Totally.
Consistent linearly.
Yeah.
Justin Whalen, though, Andy,
Mhm.
shout out to, I know he's in Serial Mom, which people like, but
Mhm.
I know him as Jimmy Olsen in The Adventures of Lois and Clark.
Nice.
Also, he is like the most 90s heartthrob looking kid in the world. He must have been on the cover of Tiger Beat a ton.
Justin Whalen was I didn't know it back in the day, but he was like my gay awakening. Because I used to
Oh,
watch
was
this
he?
movie on USA Network, like, because they always had it. I don't know why. I guess it's USA Network. I guess they had the rights to this movie to just show on over and over again. But I used to watch it all the time, and I was like, dreamy eyed at this guy. I don't know where he is now.
Smitten.
Yeah.
He's I forget. I googled it. God.
I thought you were like just spoke to him last week. Actually, he's doing great.
Yes.
I think real estate. Maybe I know he's like a family man and a big golfer. I read an article. Like the what I found on him was he had just joined some country club, and they like, I guess, do announcements when they have new members. And so that was the most recent thing I had found on him.
So what you're saying is that we should get an interview with him.
He's available. He's available, I think. Yeah. Hunt him down. Dope. Look who's stalking now.
Look who's stalking now. Chuddlepod has broken into your country club and is waiting patiently.
Though I do wonder if, like, I don't think Chucky fans were as Chucky fans as they are now, but like I wonder if anybody took some like like Star Wars did to that one kid who played Anakin. I wonder if they were like, you're not our Andy, get out of here.
Oh sure, that would have happened now, but
I think everyone would kind of just like, 8 years later, okay, that's fine.
That's fine. It's cool. Makes sense.
Oh, he's 16. Cool. All right.
It's time for the gore.
Fatality.
On a scale of 1 to 10, Psycho to the Sadness, how gory is this film? Sam, I'm going to go ahead and ask you first, and Ross, you're going to be right behind.
Ooh.
So how are you feeling about this one over here?
Is that because I keep on coming in so low and compared to...
And I'm coming in so high?
Ross is always the highest. Well,
no, that's just how I wrote it.
I'm low again because here it is. 0.5 for consistency and 1 for intensity for a 1.5 overall. Because this bitch is... If it weren't for the cursing, it'd be like a PG-13 movie.
Are you kidding? All right, so are you excluding the puppet, the Chucky gore?
No, that's where the intensity bumped it up to a 1.
It always comes down to the Chuckster. It always comes down to him.
And it would be higher if Chucky were, a person and not a doll.
Sure.
Because it's intense for doll goo, not intense.
Yeah, that's
for
true. Human. God. Okay, so I had mine at intensity. It's not a lot crazier than yours. Well, it's higher than yours, but it's not as like super insane. Mine was like a 2 and a 2. I had it at a 4. Is that there were some like the consistency kind of gets there, but the intensity, I felt like safe at a 4 on the Gorometer, just because like when you get it, you get it, but it's kind of spread out, and it's a lot tamer than some of the other horrific things that we've seen in this series. So
I feel like other than the Chuck goo, we don't get like anything.
I mean, nothing stands out to me. So for consistency, I put it at like a 1, and that was just probably more lenient than needed to be. And intensity, I put it at a 2 for a 3, which I think might be a little bit high. But we'll
I love that we are still doing one. We're still there.
I don't know how this started, but I'm kind of into it. I like that we're not all just, yeah, that sounds right.
No, it's great. We're really coming into our own 125 episodes in.
Yeah.
Really finding our own individual voices.
Hitting the stride.
We're finally not afraid to push back against each other a little bit. Cody, how are you thinking? How are you feeling?
I was originally thinking a 2 total. I think I'll bump it up to a 3 because the last like 30 seconds of the movie do get really gory, but I don't know. It's like we really didn't get much. You had a little Sweeney Todd scene that was
don't get too spoilery.
It was not a lot. But other than that,
good.
and what happens to Chucky himself, there's really not a lot here. So I think a 3 feels correct.
Love it, Sergio.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. I think consistency. It's just a 1. My total is 3, but I do bump it up. I was gonna say 1 for intensity, but I bumped it up a little bit just because certain situations that Chucky puts people in can be a little disturbing. Where I'm like, whoa, that's kind of messed up. So I do give it its credit there. And yeah, that's where I leave it. 2. So 3.
Cool.
3.
Beautiful. We've been doing this thing where like we're reevaluating it at the end, so we like to touch on it again. So
Nice.
which I've been enjoying.
I like, yeah.
It's been a good time. It's been a good
we
time.
need to put that
Having
into
a
the
good
script as
time.
like a revisit the gore meter thing at the end.
Step in the
Revisit
goo
the
again.
gore meter.
Ooh, step in the
back-
goo again.
Let's re-step in that elevator of goo.
Yeah, fucking the
ready,
boneyard's
Sam?
gonna get another level of
it's
fucking
like the
sticky
Shining,
because
but fucking goo comes out.
I'm just thinking of walking in that boneyard. Goo.
Walking in boneyard. Feeling that goo between my toes.
I would
Walking
just-
in boneyard.
I think I would just call it the "Are you sure about that?" segment, where you can
Did we see the same movie?
That's where we get at the end. We kind of reevaluate all the bullshit we talked about in the beginning,
Yeah.
and then we remember things as we talk about it. Perfect. I love it.
Hey,
But
I actually took notes on the gore in this one so that I felt I could be accurate.
Oh shoot! Okay, come
I love it.
prepared.
Well, take care.
We're not
Well,
ready.
Let's get out of the gore and go over to the horror.
Who is the horror forward?
The horror. Let's get out of the gore and go to the horror.
Who's the whore for?
How do you feel about the genre?
I mean, it is a supernatural slasher. I will give it that. So,
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
Thank God for the Child's Play franchise.
With a dash of military drama. This is like Child's Play and like
Close.
Full Metal Jacket had a baby. Yeah.
A little bit of like major pain in there too.
Yeah.
It was big time Full Metal Jacket inspired. And then
I wish there was
neutered,
more
from
major
what I
pain, to be
understand.
honest. This could have used a Wayans or two.
Honestly, yeah.
It's again, I think it's we kind of hark. It's if you're a completionist, you know what I mean. Like this is
Sure.
where it rank on. Yeah, so like the third. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd like to say now, today, I'd be down for a Wayne's Brothers meet Chucky movie. You could do that now. It doesn't.
A Wayans Brothers
Well,
30
meet,
years
like
later.
that type
Yeah,
of
like
okay.
like Abbott and
Abbott and
Costello,
Costello
meet,
meet, yeah.
but
Scary
Yeah.
movie, Child's Play.
Like all the Wayans.
I would
Like
take that
the
today.
whole ensemble of Wayans.
whoever
The
wants to
entire-
get
the whole
involved.
family?
They can,
Anyway,
their kids
anyway,
can
who
come in
wants to
now.
get into it?
Yeah,
Let's get
it
them
should
in
be
it.
the Wayne's family now because their kids are starting.
Funny
to have their
enough,
own.
there was a rumor, and I don't think this is too spoilery because it hasn't happened, but there was a spoiler when it came to the series that one of the Wayne's brother was to play adult. What's his name? Tyler.
oh shit!
Oh shit! Yeah. From
It's-
this,
It's a
Yeah.
rumor that people were like, "Oh, one of the Wayne's brothers was actually gonna play him as adult him," because I don't think this actor who played Tyler has done anything besides this movie. Shout out to him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Could come to fruition. Maybe your
God,
dreams
that
will
would be
come true.
amazing.
There we go.
there we go. That's we're gonna put. For some reason, we're putting this into the universe. The Wayans.
Yeah.
and
The
Chucky.
fandom wants it. The Wayans brothers needs
Yeah.
to do it.
There we go. I think what kind of environment is this best to watch in? I mean, realistically, I think it'd be most fun with people.
Group.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In a
this
group.
This is like a hanging out with your friends. Like, this would have been a good college movie. I feel like you're all
Yeah.
hanging out, like
Yeah.
more of a party situation.
That, or it feels like a Saturday. Like I never hung out in a basement because I grew up in Florida, but like a Saturday fucking afternoon hanging out in the basement. Throwing something on while maybe you're also playing like a board game or some shit. And
Yeah, well, you don't need to pay
yeah.
attention at all. Like,
It'd be good for a game day,
Ooh,
game
yeah.
night type of thing.
This is
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
is definitely like a multitask movie, as in like you
I'm
can
over
be doing
here
a
playing
bunch of stuff
Munchkin
while watching
while.
this.
See, I think that's correct. I would, if I was having
Oh,
a
thank
Chucky
you.
marathon and I was cleaning my house, this would pop on, and I'll do a lot. I'll get productive during this movie.
Yes,
But then I'll sit back down for Bride of Chucky.
Hell yeah.
See, now I'm really craving like a snow day where you're just like sitting around with your friends, like playing board games and watching a Child's Play marathon.
Well, Cody, if you ever need Sergio to start cleaning, just throw on Child's Play 3.
Oh, believe me, I'm taking notes.
That's a hint.
It's true. I would. I don't see.
yeah.
Beautiful. Is this one for beginners? I don't see why not. You might just be like, I mean, realistically, I don't see why not.
Sure, I would say if anything,
Go and
like
watch.
it's certainly tame enough. It could be for beginners.
Right.
Yeah,
I think so.
They've all been kind of tame, and the first two are better. So
Mhm.
if you're gonna watch one of them, watch one of those.
Totally.
But again, this has that afternoon UPN feel. Like if you're young
Yes.
at the right age and catching this.
Yes,
Catching this
absolutely.
on. Because that's
I totally
the feeling
could
I
have got
have
this.
about it. The scenes of the military stuff just stand out to me for whatever reason of like a UPN. Like I caught this sometime and I'm like, fucking, what the
Mhm.
hell is these Child's Play's weird?
Child plays weird.
UPN played weird sequels too. Like
Well-
I remember watching one of the later Halloween sequels on there.
You know what I used
Exactly.
to watch? I think it was UPN too, or maybe it's still USA. But the Species franchise. Do you guys know that franchise?
Yes. Oh,
Oh,
totally.
Yeah, I
These
tried to see the
franchise-
second
I was-
one in theater.
It was always on. Always.
I was a straight young boy, and
Exactly.
talk about
Oh,
Talk about sexual
This is a
awakenings.
movie that
Okay,
the
wait.
boys of our generation watched because there was boobs and sex in it. I remember trying to see the second one in theaters with Shane. He wanted to go see it for like his birthday or something. I don't remember. We went to see it. This was back when R-rated movies, if your parents bought a ticket or signed the ticket or something, you could go
Yeah.
without your parent as long as they showed approval for it.
Mhm.
And so she was getting us tickets, and whoever the fucking narc selling tickets was told
No.
her why we wanted to see it. And then she took us back home, and he got in a lot of trouble. I remember.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
Lame.
Natasha Henstridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
She was good in that. She was good in that. Maybe like her performance was stellar.
I probably
Oh,
own
I don't even
Species
know
2 on VHS, to be honest. Though.
I don't think I ever saw either of the entire movies.
I
That
don't think
has
I-
crossed my mind as something to bring into the pod at some point. So we might
Sure,
bring
cool.
it back to, this is the perfect age to watch if you're wondering what a boob feels like.
Boob feels
moving
like,
on.
yeah.
I was gonna say something super inappropriate about Sam because you were like, I didn't see the
Please do
entire movie. I was like, oh, you just finished a box of tissues and you're like, call it a day.
The Kleenex
I don't even
run
know if I
out
was
before the
old
show
enough
runs
for
out.
that yet.
You never got
But-
past what the hot tub scene.
Yeah, which is very
Well, it's
confusing.
like-
That's a
it's like
very
I'm only-
confusing boner.
Wait, have you seen the Species movies?
If I haven't seen it with you, I haven't seen it.
Oh, we have.
So
That'd be interesting. That could be fun.
They're kind of wild from
They're
what I
very horny.
remember. I haven't seen them since I
You
was a
were
kid.
watching them on TV though. You did not see the real.
That's true.
version.
Oh yeah,
I saw
it
the
is-
edited version.
It's
Mhm.
wild. It's a
like
wild
the first
ride.
time I saw Seven was on network television.
Oh my
And I
god.
was like, oh, that I didn't actually get to see the whole thing, so I rented it the next day.
Oh.
And it fucking
It's like whoa, whoa,
rocked
whoa, whoa,
me.
whoa,
I
whoa.
was not ready for that.
Sergio, it's
They
kind of like
totally
if,
cut out the blade dildo completely from TV.
Oh, that's true. No, it's kind of like if Showgirls and Alien had a baby. I think that's like what.
Oh, we're gonna be bad gay people. I have not seen Showgirls.
me neither.
There's another movie I've only seen.
Oh my Oh my god. I love it.
Throw
I
in
love
wild
it.
things and you got the Holy Trinity.
Yep.
I think I've finished that one and striptease.
I'm
But-
finished.
I mean, the other big one was Starship Troopers, which
Wow, the 90s
Oh, that
really
one I saw in
catered
theaters.
to like
So
I saw Starship in
sexual
theaters, too.
awakenings.
Mhm.
at the AMC we worked at, Brian, is where I saw Starship Troopers.
So did I.
I feel like that would be the funniest, most awkward cycle of movies that we could go through. Just hi guys, welcome to our sexual awakening cycle.
I know we have to. I mean, we're
Oh,
going to be
yeah,
presenting
yeah.
new
Team voting.
cycles soon. We could have like horny films.
Wait, horny films. Stop it. Wait, that's so good.
Well, it's on
I
air
mean,
now.
Watch out
so
for that, patrons.
That's
and
a patron
if you
thing.
want to get in on there, join our patrons.
Join the Patreon.
Our Patreon, and you can.
We're gonna do voting
chance to-
cycles for
That's
how
so
we're
funny.
gonna pick our next cycles of movies and stuff. That's just one of the perks. All
You
right,
dirty
let's
horn
go ahead.
dogs.
Let's go ahead and ask our Harbinger of Doom if there's any warnings for this one here, which I don't have really anything for. Right?
I don't have one.
No.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
If you have trauma from being in military school, perhaps you may want to skip this.
Totally.
Or
movie.
if you have been or currently are being bullied, maybe this one's a little rough.
A little rough. I would honestly.
I did
go-
think,
like
gun violence
90s
to
bullied.
kids, I guess would be.
Well,
like,
that is actually pretty dark. What they did there.
yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, but in the
it could've been
context
a
of
lot
this
worse.
movie, it does
it
not
didn't-
feel heavy
Totally.
by any
No.
means, in
No.
my opinion. But that is
Because then you just cut to
someone-
Chucky like giving the middle finger, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he's fucking
okay.
cackling. Well, let's go ahead.
If you are a supernaturally possessed doll thinking this is the time that you're going to win, you're going to want to skip this movie.
Perfect. And a perfect place to head us right over into spoiler zone.
Ooh,
You're all right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some stuff behind the scenes with our IMDb behind the scenes first. Under pressure from Universal, screenwriter Don Mancini was asked to begin writing the third film even before the second film was released.
fucking do
Hence,
it.
this picture was released only 9 months after Child's Play 2. Mancini has called it his least favorite because he felt like he was out of ideas so soon after the second installment.
Damn.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
I haven't seen all of them, but of what I have seen, spoilers. It's my least favorite as well.
Yeah. I'm glad he's aware at least.
oh, totally.
I did see him talk about that too. He talked about he was like amongst Chunky fans, he was like this is usually the least favorite, although some people say Seed, but those people are wrong because this one is the worst.
I stand by Don on those sentiments.
Agree with that.
No, that's going to be interesting. Your thoughts when we get to Seed of Chucky, because we want to see how you feel, but I agree with that.
I mean, it's been a long
I'm bleeping
time.
that.
But...
No, I'm bleeping all that out. Wait
Oh.
until we get to see the Chucky to hear Sam's thoughts.
Who knows? It's up in the air.
Did he like it? Did he hate it?
You'll have
he
to
said
see.
so. This was the first film in the series to use computers to aid in Chucky's puppetry in order to perfect the lip syncing technology.
Like CGI, or it was like
Fuck if I know. That's all it said.
programmed into the doll. Because it seems like maybe programmed in the doll. It still doesn't
I
seem
would
like
assume
CGI.
programmed. Yeah, computers.
Yeah.
It was computers.
Puppets?
I
Think of
aliens
the computers,
helped.
bro.
Nice.
I don't know. I
How
don't
does
work
your
with
cell phone
computers.
work?
Exactly. Who fucking knows? Don Mancini initially wanted to introduce the concept of multiple Chuckies in the movie, but due to budget constraints, the idea was eventually scrapped. This later comes back in some later films.
Interesting.
Cult.
So if you guys don't know who's hearing this right now, this was Cody's first time watch of this movie.
Yep.
And that actually came up to thought. You were like, oh, this is where it started.
Yes, because I see this like 5,000 gallon container and I see blood containing the whole thing. And I see a doll that would have not taken nearly that much like silicone
all of
rubber
it
to
was
make.
used.
And yet only one doll is possessed. I guess you can hand wave it away by saying other dolls are out there, but we're focusing on the story of this one doll today.
Right.
Mhm.
This is Chucky's story. This Chucky.
This Chucky.
That
This
we're
one's
watching.
Yeah.
All right. The film, it's the only film of the series where Andy Barclay is played by a different actor, as we kind of mentioned before, for the obvious reasons.
Justin
Damn.
Whalen's great. Nothing against him. I just
But
really have a soft spot.
Yeah. It was obviously, I don't know if it was obvious, but it was a box office disappointment. It made only $20.5 million on a $13 million budget. And it's the reason there was not another movie for 7 years until Bride of
So
Chucky, which
damn
is
fault they
1998.
were cranking them out so too
No,
quickly.
yeah, this is 100% the fucking production. You know what I'm trying to say
Yeah.
is fault.
Yeah.
Whoever made the studio.
It was
studio.
Universal's thought.
Do you think that there are children out there who were conceived while watching Child's Play 2 who were born
Ooh.
after Child's Play 3 came out?
That's a good.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 months later,
If you're one of those
that'd
children,
be fun
speak
if
up.
they were conceived during 2
and then
during their
birthed-
birth was
before.
watching 3.
was watching
Yes,
3.
It's like on the TV while they're
Wait,
How many
I'm in
children
91,
are named
baby.
Charles?
They're like Irish twins with Chucky.
Ooh.
Nice.
Wait, when did this come out?
91.
1991?
1991. What
91.
month? Do you know? I was
Oh,
born
I
July.
Oh, you're trying to figure out if you're a Chucky baby?
August. Wait, hold on. What month? Oh, what month?
July 1991 was my
August 30th was the release date. So close.
Okay.
It was so close. Maybe
Okay.
maybe there was early distribution.
Oh, that's fair. That's
They got
fair.
an advanced copy.
I'm sorry, that usually doesn't happen.
Mom, I need to know that I'm a Chucky baby.
Oh my god.
Beautiful. All right, so this is also Brad Dourif's least favorite movie in the series.
Damn.
And as we mentioned before, it takes place 8 years after the events of Child Play 2. And this then leads us to it taking place 1 month before the events of Bride of Chucky.
Mhm.
And Chucky, whenever we're in spoiler territory, he always loses his right hand before he dies, because in Child's Play 2, Andy's mom shoots it off, and then, or in Child's Play 1, Andy's mom shoots it off, and Child's Play 2 it gets torn off. And in this movie, Andy does whatever to it.
Good thing he's left.
Cuts it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
What did it?
I don't know what that symbolizes, but
It's probably
right
his
hand's flopping off.
It might just be his whacking hand.
It could
It's
be.
The left hand's the evil hand, right?
Yeah. It's a voodoo. It's like the voodoo thing where it's like to die, you have to get your masturbating
the
hand
left
ripped
hand's the
off of
poop
your
hand,
body.
right? So
Oh, yeah.
you want to make sure you can still.
Good old Chucky
Wiping
wipes
hand.
his butt.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
Which one's the dick arm?
Wait,
He's not an octopus.
does Chucky as a doll poop? We never really see him eat.
Well, he
We don't see him
turns
well,
He's
human.
got a seed.
He turns
I
human.
would assume
You would think.
maybe not in the Child's Play movies, but by the time we get to Chucky, I
Oh
feel like
yeah,
he's
that's
gotta be
true.
pooping.
Yeah,
He's
that's
got.
true. He's got functioning bowels.
I mean, if he has a seed, I'm assuming the plumbing works.
I think so.
Yeah, Don, please reach out.
let us know.
He listens.
Oh yeah.
He listens.
Let's reach out to him.
We'll reach out to you.
What, actually, you know what? I promised our listeners that once we've covered all these movies, we will have him on the show for an interview. I promise.
Perfect.
All right.
Sam promises.
We don't know if this is 100% true, but when we were first putting out our Chucky series reactions, there was a woman on Twitter that was claiming that she was the sister of Don Mancini, and Don Mancini had watched our reaction videos and was tagging Jennifer Tilly and Don, and they liked one of our videos. So we're like, I
believe it.
I guess he saw it. I don't know.
Oh, he
Well,
did.
I
We
mean,
never found out.
I'm sure
this
he did.
account
Didn't
is
Damien
followed
Leone?
by Jennifer Tilly.
Yes. Oh, and Devin Sawa also saw our video and followed our Twitter account. We were like, well,
Mancini sees all.
Mancini
so we
sees
can
all.
say we know you.
Yeah, this is 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yes.
Hey, we're real good friends.
We're BFFs.
They covered the series with
us. So anyway, Sam guaranteed it. We got the, we got it on lock. Don
Also
will
watch their
be
YouTube
here.
videos.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Damien Leone, I know, commented on was
Yeah.
it Terrifier 2 or
Terrifier 2.
1? Yeah.
Like,
That's
so
fucking
We still
awesome.
can't believe it.
Like, come on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're your people.
Amazing.
We're gonna try to reach out. We got it.
We got no. We got this.
We got it.
Like I
it.
said, Don listens. He knows. We're gonna just reach out to him, and we'll be talking soon. Sam's got it all on lock. Sam never lies, and
Ever.
this is the only film, Child's Play film, where no females die. All the victims are male.
Oh.
Nice.
That's fun. Going
Wow,
back to
the
that
our,
was
disappointment
intentional.
across the board.
I mean,
No, I think that's
I think
awesome.
great. I think it sucks that it's in this film, but
Agreed.
it was wasted.
They're like, see, yeah, fucking, like, horror bros are like, see, man, that's why chicks have to die. Like, look at it.
God.
Oh, no.
Oh
Horror
my god.
bros. Fuck them. Who picked it? Why in our history? Continuing along in our series, I kind of mentioned I remember maybe seeing this. The military stuff stuck out to me, and Chucky, and like mixing in with that, and I'm like, what the hell am I watching? This is really weird. I thought it was about like Chucky and a different kid than the kid he's with, and like
Yeah.
why is everyone in the military? So that's what I honestly remembered. So then I think I never really revisited it much maybe at some point I was doing a Child's Play go through back in high school or some shit, but that's a while ago now, 20 plus years,
like 5-6 years ago.
That's like 3 years ago. I mean, yeah. I'm totally young.
20. I'm in the exact same boat. I was certain I had seen it, and when I was watching, I was like, maybe I haven't seen it. But there was enough that was kind of familiar, and not just with some of the actors, but some of the settings, especially the barber and the haircut stuff. I was like, this seems really familiar, but it's probably been about 20 years at least.
I was having, was it either UPN or USA deja vu, as in I feel like I caught bits and pieces of this on USA so many times that there's certain key like moments in this that I was like, I remember this, and then huge gaps of not knowing what the fuck is going on and being like, I thought I saw this movie, and I go, oh, I saw that. Oh, okay, no, I didn't see that. Okay, I didn't see that either.
Sure. All right, Sergio, we know you've seen it.
I've seen it on USA Network over and over again, marathons. I think it went over to Sci-Fi at some point because we added that to our cable program. I'm so stoked because that's where I also saw Species too. I also saw Wishmaster on that channel as well.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Cody, that's after they got all those good licensing. So it used to just be like, you're just going to watch 15 Godzilla movies all day long. And then Twilight Zone, and then an episode of Monsters, and then they just repeat it. Then they're like, no,
and at some point, a bunch of horror shit started popping up. Like, yes. I was like, fuck yes. And so I started watching on that. But I will say, revisiting it now, I feel like usually horror movies, they have to like edit on TV. I feel like they didn't really change much, except for like the dialogue that Chucky said like shit here or there, but like everything was shown. Totally.
That could have been fun. A TV edit of Chucky. Just 100%. Whatever his fucking dialogue is. I'm just saying that'd be fun to hear what they've replaced shit with.
Like,
that he's.
You gotta be shirting me.
Yes. It's like the Die Hard where it's like yippee-ki-yay, my friend.
Cody, first time.
Ooh.
Oh man,
a couple days ago, actually.
Yeah. It was like, crazy. It's fresh.
A couple days ago, and you know what? I can understand why there are only certain aspects and certain like specific scenes in this movie that stick with people. And you know, I this afternoon I rewatched like a recap of it to make sure that I'm like prepared to be able to bring something to the conversation. I'm like, man, I watched this 2 days ago and I still forgot a whole bunch of the shit.
Oh my god.
Same. What did you watch? Did you watch Dead Meat?
I did watch Dead Meat, yes.
Me too.
Awesome.
Usually I watch movies twice, but it's hard because this one it's not streaming anywhere. I just have it on the physical media, so it's not like I have a bunch. There's only one TV to watch it on.
I wonder if like the Blu-ray set is on sale on Amazon. Sorry, that's like a personal note for myself.
Oh, it's cheap.
It's pretty cheap.
I got the Blu-ray set for.
Oh shoot, I gotta get $30 at most. Like
wow,
or 35 or less. I gotta get mine was on sale.
I gotta get that. I still gotta get the Friday the 13th box set.
Oh, that's been on sale for a while.
I still gotta get it.
I still gotta mail you your Friday the 13th.
Yeah, what happened with that? Hold on.
I was gonna ask.
We won fair and square. Sam. You know, we would have been like, yo, we'll got
cut this shit out to make sure people know that when they win something, they'll get it.
He was just gonna wait till the next Friday the 13th to mail it to you.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's coming.
He's hoping if he waits long enough, it'll count as a wedding gift.
Oh my god! Oh, we got our prize winnings, honey.
We'll just put this in this definitely keep pile over here.
All right, let's get into this movie here. Child's Play 3 kicks us off. We're back in the factory, in the fucking cobwebbed factory. I mean, spiders have been working here.
Oh yeah.
That means time has passed.
That what this means is that someone pressed the stop button and they all walked the fuck away from this factory.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No one ever came back. There was no like. I mean, this.
They didn't even take melted Chucky away. They didn't like.
I think the person, the people that died in there, their corpses are still in there.
Still
like
there.
I literally think after
They're
the events
mummified.
of Child's Play 2,
It's
they
just a
shut it down.
skeleton with eyeballs.
It was like
Googling.
it was like Willy
Whatever.
Wonka's chocolate
Dumb.
factory. They just closed all the corpses in and just walked away from the entire thing.
Better than R. Kelly's chocolate factory.
Oh god damn it!
Oh
Doo-doo.
my God! Hold up.
Unless it's the album.
So if you were the weird crane operator that pinches down onto this heap of plastic and it just starts bleeding everywhere.
You just keep going.
Do you
It's
just keep-
normal.
Whoa!
I'm
There's so many questions there.
This does mean
there's
that
a crane
Chucky-
operator.
That Chucky has been awake and alive. Just
just
standing
conscious in
there.
Oh my God.
For like 8 years.
He's like the fucking Tin
didn't think
Man
about
in
that.
Wizard
Yeah,
of Oz.
nice.
He's oil.
He'd be insane.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you get his revenge. That's why it makes sense. Like he's fucking
so
pissed.
mad. He's so
I would
mad.
no. He's not as mad as I think he could have been and should have been if he's been just sentient.
Did you
stuck in
not
his
hear
own
his
pile of
his
melted
Viking
goo for
call?
8 years?
Oh,
Did you not hear his Viking call at the opening credits?
So
You
yes,
sound like a
so
Muppet.
our opening factory shot. The factory's been shut down for a while. People start coming in and like clearing off all the shit, dolls parts off the line and everything. And then, as Ross said, there's this weird crane thing that comes in
and then
because
instead
they
of
need that to pick up the melted
shit,
Chucky,
yeah.
as opposed to someone who couldn't just like pick it up and move it. There's a
Also,
specific.
not the path of least resistance. Like they pick this thing up and they decide just to like lurch this over the assembly line instead of I don't know the opposite direction into a dumpster.
Listen, I'm not really sure but about you guys, but like my work experience of working in one factory ever, I'm qualified to say that every single factory that's ever been built has a arcade style crane that can go anywhere in the factory and it just happens. So
Wait, is that true?
That's fucking
absolutely not.
Oh, I was thinking what?
I love that.
See, this is what I was waiting for, and I wanted your opinion on all of this too, because I figured that was the case. And as you mentioned, our vat of doll goo that just has been constantly simmering. They left that on.
They were fine with that, apparently.
They just kicked it back on. They're getting everything ready back to go or something. I don't know. But also, like, you would just take a chainsaw or something and just cut it into pieces.
Oh, yeah. You just, like, take a sawzall to it. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the
Could
solution.
you
I will
imagine
say-
a worker putting a chainsaw to it and then just the blood
Just
spurting directly into its face?
No.
Oh, fuck.
I will say, I feel like this beginning part painted a picture for me of a possible post-apocalyptic Chucky movie where like Wally is kind of just doing like his usual
Just
workaround.
making
And
Chucky.
it's
This is the
accidentally
thing, actually. No,
drops in Chucky.
I want that movie to be made
This is
now.
how we get Chucky
This
in
is how we
space.
get Chucky in space.
This is how we get Chucky
Wally
in space.
fucking started
Yes.
it. He brought him back to life.
It's fucking Wally.
I mean, honestly, it's just like Jason X. You just replace the
Oh, yeah.
humans with a Wally.
Oh no,
Pretty
he just
much.
starts killing robots. Wait,
Mhm.
Chucky versus robots?
Ooh.
I'm down.
Well, Chucky
That's
versus Megan.
Megan right there.
This
Chucky
is
versus
Megan's world.
With
It's a
Megan.
future of Megan's,
Chucky
and
gets
Chucky
an
gets
upgrade.
brought back
There
somehow.
we go.
A Megan bot is going through this old factory and it finds this thing, is going to clean it up and chainsaws it, and then that shoots the Chucky blood into a vat, which brings back a whole bunch of Chuckies,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And then
like
you,
it's supposed to do.
Yeah, we get
so then you
Echo.
get a bunch of Chuckies and a bunch of Megans and
But then you
Megan.
add the Terminator in there, and it's like
Oh,
Megan and
perfect,
Chucky
Skynet.
versus the Terminator.
Mhm.
and then you just have a
Oh,
very
yeah.
jealous Tiffany show up and just like shoot Megan in the face and be like, who the fuck do you think you are?
Get off
Yeah.
my man.
nice. And Godzilla.
And
He's out
Godzilla. What?
Don Mancini, if you're hearing this, call us.
He is hearing this,
Call us. Call David Gordon Green. Mega
and
F.
we'll reach out. All right. So, Which does lead us. Okay, so we get the fucking Chucky blood bender reverse, like forming into a plastic body. I don't know, opening credit scene, whatever you want to call it, of Chucky. And then fucking Child's Play 3 pops up, which leads us to our seedy corporate boardroom meeting, which is, this continued, I guess.
Same guy, same actor. Hasn't aged a day in 8 years.
Right, you're right. I totally forgot about that.
Hey, when you're fucking corporate money,
this man's getting like a Rolling
Mm-hmm.
Stones level of just blood transfusions.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like he's living that CEO life.
And that's why his apartment is filled with toys.
His apartment or something. That's his office. That's his office. Everybody leaves.
Yeah.
And then he stays, and his couch is there. And
He lives there. It's like
what is that space?
It's like a Howard Hughes kind of thing. I pictured that he just stays in his office, watches TV, and pees in bottles.
He's kind of like, because he has that assistant who's like, I got to go home, the wife.
My anniversary.
And he's kind of like, oh, well, all right, you're going to go do
like, I live at my office.
I got a couch here that I sleep on. So I don't know what you're doing.
It's such a weird concept. I mean, obviously not now, I guess, because there's a lot of toy lines that have kind of been resurrected from like the 90s and the 80s for kids now. But like the idea that you had a toy line of good guy dolls and then all this horrendous shit happens. And then they're like, 8 years later, like, we can bring them back. And then I like how even the boardroom's like, yeah, but like, what happens if another deranged child comes up with something else? This would literally tank the company. It almost tanked it to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but nobody's gonna fucking remember. Nobody remembers Andy Barclay. Fuck this kid. Let's do it.
Yes,
like Andy Barclay is nothing.
Is nothing.
Yeah. And I like how there's the one guy that has like the one guy who's opposed to everything, and then our CEO comes up to him. He's like, I'll remember what you said or whatever. But does anything ever come back? It's like, it almost seems very threatening.
I feel like there's a missing scene where like he leaves and whispers, I need that guy fucking fired by the end of the day. Or like, this guy needs to clear his desk by the end of the day. But that scene was never shot. So that like heavily implied threat, nothing happened out of that.
Just like we have him on an NDA, right?
That's like just, we got an NDA. All right.
I mean, this could have been the start of Dom Mancini's script that he originally wanted to start, and then was like, actually, let me take it down a different route, and just kept the beginning part.
True.
From what I saw, it was actually in that Dead Meat recap. It seemed like a lot of what he wrote for it didn't necessarily make
any sense.
How it came out. No, like just which happens a lot.
Did they say what his version was?
Screenplays and what the movie was.
Kind of
it was pretty much the same thing, but I think
multiple Chuckies.
Well, yeah, it had multiple Chuckies but they couldn't afford to do that.
Like what would happen with blood just mixing into like we went
how it should actually happen.
Yeah,
it was more Full Metal Jacket in the place and less Major Pain. The head of the school was supposed to be like this horrendous dickbag, essentially. Instead, he's kind of like a nice older guy, who's looking after Tyler.
He's the headmaster of the private academy that Rory Gilmore goes to in the Gilmore Girls.
Oh.
So that's what I know him from too, which is funny. I mean, he's kind of a kind of really badass in that, but like. He's tougher in this, I'll say that much. So he's real tough to me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right.
I also like, just to go back to this boardroom meeting, I think it is wild that they literally just put up a picture of this literal child, Andy Barclay, who was like, this fucking kid made up a whole bunch of definite lies and we hate him. And that's like the only person.
This could have been an email.
This easily could have been an email.
That,
they need a PowerPoint presentation.
I like to imagine this company continues on throughout time or whatever. And there's always just like this picture of Andy, and it's just like right below it, it's just always like "fuck this kid." Like it's just like the mantra of this company. It's like all like you learn about. That's like on page like 1 of the employee handbook that you get when you like fucking get hired on. You open it, it's like "Welcome to Playtime" or whatever.
Because what they 100% would have done instead is just like made the doll blonde and like made the overalls green and make it the nice like boy dolls. Right there. And then that's it. That's it. You just keep selling.
Though what I find funny is that they're like, we want to give you a gift. Like the one thing that he's fucking over there, they decided to bring back the old Chucky doll to him. Like the main reason why this all happens is because they wanted to create a gift.
Right. But also what's mind-boggling to me is that the movie prior, this guy watches the next assembly line of this thing and the eyes go in and it murders 2 employees by electrocution. And then that doll goes on a like, it's so funny that he's like, yeah, I'll take this home.
Oh my God.
Literally 8 years before that, I watched a bunch of people die because these fucking dolls again. Like, yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, but I don't think he ever really thinks that the doll did anything, right? He still thinks Andy's just a crazy kid.
Yeah, and those factory workers were just bad at their jobs, and that's why they died.
Right.
Incompetence.
Because how many? Yeah, because there's no surviving factory workers, so it would just be the foster sister, right? What's her name from part 2?
Kyle.
Yes.
Kyle.
So
Kyle, so basically only surviving is the cop, Andy's mom, and Kyle are the only 3 that actually know.
Andy's mom is still in an institute.
Still institutionalized.
Still locked away.
Do you think that's why the cop never came forward about anything? Because he realized that the mom is still watching. It's been 8 years and she's still in there. I'm not saying shit.
Oh no.
So as we were saying, this leads us into we're in the CEO's office room where I guess you would think, he has essentially maybe one of every toy. You gotta know your product, right? So his office is full of everything.
Army men and cars and
I think, like, again, I'm still kind of into it at this point in this movie. I'm like, but I also did say at this point, I'm like, this is a fucking 90s ass horror movie. It felt like I was like, this feels like Jason Goes to Hell
because it's only
or something like version of Chucky.
I totally see that.
Just how dingy it started with, and then how like cool office, like corporate it becomes, office. And then
watching the stocks.
Yeah, and having from some fancy whiskey from a decanter, it's just like on the shelf in the office.
Also, why did Chucky give him back the remote control?
/ apartment.
He takes it away. And then he like goes.
He needed more time to fuck with stuff.
Honestly, that's a very Chucky move. He wants to like just keep fucking with you until it's just convenient to kill you at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess, but if this Chucky's so hell bent, I just wish that he's so hell bent on revenge that he was a little bit more vicious,
rough. Yeah. Well, I mean, I still don't know how he powers all the toys all at once, right? And then sets up the 2 dolls in the front that then talk to each other somehow. I'm like, what?
That was left over from the original script. That was supposed to be a whole setup with more Chuckies.
Oh, yeah. Because
that would have been amazing if like we have the 2 Chucky dolls, then one of them comes to life and like attacks the guy. And he like fights it off, and then the second one comes to life and really puts a finishing blow. Yeah,
that would have been such a shit your pants moment. That would have been awesome.
I just also imagine a moment of him being in there with a whole bunch of them, just like all sitting around or whatever,
mauling them,
and they all start talking, and then they all at the same time just like turn their heads and look at him and say, "Hi, I'm Chucky." Like,
so good.
And it would have a bigger
anything would be better
because this is the guy that says fuck Andy, and he's also like the guy who kind of is the head guy of what, the Good Guy Corporation, or what is it, Toy Pals?
Playtime,
yeah. Play Pals.
There
you go. Yeah. It would have been very impactful to have all the Chuckies just like go against him, but what are you gonna do? This was back in 1990.
But again, budgetary reasons are why they had to move away from that.
Although he's got one hell of a putt.
I was about to. Well, that's true.
I thought you said pud.
Pud.
Did you guys check out Mr. Sullivan's pud?
All right, guys, let's bring it in for Pud Talk.
Pud Talk. Welcome to Purvis's Pud Talk.
This is the podcast.
It's a podcast. It's a podcast.
Put on the podcast. Put on the pud. Oh my god.
Oh, good lord.
Ross's stamp of Pud approval.
That's the spin-off series right there. You need a spin-off there.
I have been talking about Manhams for a while. I should go straight to the Pud.
Straight to the Pud. One of your favorite lines, isn't it, coming up around here, Ross?
God damn it. Oh, fucking god damn it.
I'm going to let you give this one to everyone here.
So he fucking, like, he pops up and he says, don't fuck with the Chuck. I paused the movie immediately, audibly sighed, and then I went to go do the dishes. And then, like, if you like, I had to, like, I realized, like, that early on, I was like, fuck, if I'm getting those kind of one-liners, I know what movie I'm in for. I got to do stretching. I've got to, like, hydrate, and then I got to get back into it.
And then you get back, eat a Cliff Bar.
It didn't hit me that hard. I mean, you know, I may have sighed a little, but
like I
didn't pause it and do chores.
See, I must be a different kind of person because I heard "Don't fuck with the Chuck" and I'm like, yes, give me more of this shit.
Because they're Don Mancini was feeding to our minds
right after that.
No, it's.
Doesn't he say something right after?
Is it the strangulation line?
That line is.
Well, he does the bullseye where he has the darts that go right into his spine and then into his hand.
Bullseye.
Although, they've like, nothing like a good strangulation.
To get the circulation flowing.
That line's good. I like that one.
That's a great one. There are some great Chuck. I mean, there's some phenomenally great cheesy Chuck lines
cheesy
that are
Chuck.
through this. Cheesy Chuck. But I feel that they're so misplaced in this movie that you're just like, I would have loved to have seen him like kill 5 people and then say that line instead of just like pop out of a trash can or like a closet or
Well,
I'm really looking forward to getting to the Chucky movies. I've only seen 2 of them, but
3.
I like them a lot, and I feel like we get
well,
more.
This is
of
like
that.
a very like a little peek through the like peephole of what Don Mancini's mind can go to when delivering Chucky's lines, because there are other movies in this that get extremely like this. So whereas
to be clear, when I said Chucky movies, I meant not Child's Play.
The movies with Chucky in the title.
Movies with Chucky in the title, not Child's Play in the title. Yeah.
His line, "You don't fuck with the Chuck," sounds almost something like you say when you're kind of like have half confidence and kind of can't quite think of the thing to say. You don't fuck with the Chuck.
I wish his delivery on that. Don't fuck with me.
He didn't deliver it that way, obviously, but I'm kind of there with you. I didn't again have to go.
You should have said, "Don't fuck him with the Chuck."
Chucky. Well, then I also thought of the TV edit. What is he? Don't mess with the Chuck. Don't chuck with the Chuck. And that's always something weird.
Fuck with the Chuck.
That'd be good.
Don't fart on the Chuck.
I would have appreciated that.
That would have been really fun.
That would have been the Major Payne cut.
The fart cut.
Yeah. It's so weird because, like, obviously after he does the murder and he starts looking up where the fuck happened to Andy, it's one of those weird ones where, like, I know he has the realization that he's completely in a new doll after he mails himself. But, like, I feel like this whole thing could have been, like, you didn't necessarily have to have Andy in this movie if he realizes, like, oh, I could just do anybody now? This is, all right, let's just do that. I know that's supposed to be like a plot twist in this, but I just feel like you didn't even have to have Andy in the military school when the premise is that he's in a brand new host. You know what I mean? Like,
vengeance.
So that actually makes me think, because his whole deal is that he has to put his soul into the first person that he reveals that he is a human to. If Chucky reveals himself to somebody and then kills them, does he get a second go? Or is it just like he's just
good
done?
Point, because the first person
Mr.
he revealed himself to was
is
the
now
CEO.
dead. Is the CEO.
But he didn't reveal himself to him. He made him slip on the marbles and hit him with darts and then choked him without
don't
him.
fuck with
Don't
Chuck. He chases after him. Like, he knows that.
Was that? But that was
totally
before.
So, like, he knows that this is a killer
he made
doll.
himself known. Like, he definitely knew he was being killed by a doll. Yeah,
but that's so funny. You could inhabit Mr. Sullivan and become like a millionaire CEO, also serial killer.
Damn, you could have done that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Charles Lee Ray would have had some fun in that guy's body. And he's body jumping around, so it's not like he has to go with youth. He could go with an old guy and then jump into a kid later.
Well, at that point, I don't think he
keep body jumping if he ever wants to do it, right?
I don't know. Well, we don't really know the rules too much.
It doesn't
body
dawn on
jumping,
him.
I guess, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, he also doesn't. Wait, that actually gets revealed a little later on in the.
Right,
by like
but
cult,
at this point,
they start talking about it.
Yeah, stuff gets retconned essentially, but
totally. No, but I think he doesn't. Even Chucky doesn't even have this realization until he pops out of the box at the military school, where he goes, "Ha! Oh shit! Oh yeah!" I like that he has like this realization. Like, oh yeah! I don't have.
But
to.
He's not 100% sure that it'll work.
Yes,
like he's just making an assumption that this is how it's gonna go.
Right. Who wrapped up that package and put the mailing label on it?
Probably just
that's such a good fucking point.
That cleaned up the office with a note on it. Like,
can you imagine?
He like leave a little note in the CEO's office, being like, "Wrap this up and send it to this person.
Send it to the kid I hate."
That motherfucker who ruined our fucking company. Send him a Chucky doll.
Good guy doll.
Good guy doll. We'll see how
it goes. On page 1, fuck this kid. They're going to fuck with him.
Can you imagine little ass Chucky dragging Mr. Sullivan's body into a closet somewhere just to like put himself back in the box and just like type an email? Be like, yeah, just pick me up. I mean, pick the box
Well, apparently
up.
he knows how to use a fucking computer pretty well.
That's what I was going to say.
Charles Lee Ray, I don't feel like is a very computer savvy person to begin with.
I really needed a
years
scene.
have gone by since anything, and I don't see him being able to just so easily go up to a computer, know how to use this internal like fucking a whole operating system. I'm sure it barely has anything to it.
Is able to find where
exactly
he is specifically, like how old he is, how like he searches him,
and this fucking company's still keeping up on this kid, which I mean, he's juvenile. Shouldn't those like records be sealed to some extent or something, where they're just able to like be like, all right, let's we're keeping tabs on this
kid.
The
curtain to like real capitalism. You know, you can just a guy who knows a guy, and
they got his cookies.
Wasn't that like Don Mancini's original like thing that he wanted to cover was like capitalism and corporate greed and stuff like that.
Oh, you can totally feel that.
Yeah,
I mean, from that seedy boardroom meeting, which I'm here for it. But then it's like that's the end of it.
Yeah,
as soon as
soon
as we're out of this area,
it turns into a different
military zone.
I wish
that idea doesn't ever come back.
I wish I would have seen. Actually, this kind of goes into like making the movie gooier and gorier. It would have been hilarious to set up like a marionette puppet style where he calls in the secretary and he's now rigged Sullivan's body to look like it's moving. Be like, I need you to ship this away. Let's go.
I was pretty sure for some reason I've seen this movie. And I thought it was going to go a different way. I thought his head was going to just slice off because of how thin that string was. I thought he was just going to like,
they
like
give you this like,
it.
oh yeah, like they give you this like 0.2 second thing where it tightens in, where it like cuts in, and I was like, decapitation. He's gonna fucking totally yo-yo decapitate this guy's head off.
No, it was.
But
what if they
now
did?
I totally want a Weekend at Bernie's Child's Play edition.
Oh my god!
Where he's just he's crawled inside Mr. Sullivan
and he's
just like moving around with him.
I love that.
Nice.
Boy, I love that.
A weekend with Chuck.
Oh my god!
So eventually we get into meeting up with Andy again, and as we said, time has passed, and this is him getting into the fucking our main
Kent military
area
school
for our movie, military school. Now, this is going to be our meeting of our young new child. What's his name? Tyler or whatever?
Yes.
Tyler. Yeah.
Who is essentially going to become like, the new Andy. But Andy's all grown up. We get him in the whole scene of like getting the haircut with the hairdresser, talking about you got to cut your hair short or you're going to get your throat slit.
Mm-hmm.
This is the stuff that was familiar to me from... That was like, maybe
no, Sam, you're kind of giving the barber look a little bit. With the mustache. With the mustache.
You know, he's not wrong. You're looking barber-like.
I almost shaved it off today, actually.
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
But it's still
But
there.
he can't because he's a cop. So
Cap.
There you go. There you go.
I love the fact that was it Tyler has that the entire movie. He's got that ginormous fucking gaming thing at a military school. Like, that's so fucking funny to me that this kid's allowed to have like this insane gaming system that he plays all the time.
Why does he get this treatment?
Because his dad.
What is this place?
Okay, they give a hint of it is that it's a military school. He's specifically there because his dad is like
that's what they tell us,
fighter pilot or something like that. So I think they give him way more like leeway because his dad is actually like a combat fighter pilot or something like that.
I get the sense that this is like mostly like a troubled teen type thing where like teenagers who are acting out and can't behave are being sent here for discipline. But do
they learn like
it's just
algebra and actual
just
school
shooting
stuff?
Just shooting.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's all you need to know in the real world.
The flag on the weekends.
Yeah. I only ever saw one because I was looking for other kids. Eventually, I was like, "Is he the only like child here?" And they at the end when they're doing the war games, there's like one kid on the other side carrying a flag.
When Andy goes to have like when he goes over to the lunch table, it's all those kids in the kind of the same age bracket. And
I think in like the lineup in the beginning ish scenes where what's his name is like inspecting everyone, like one of the asshole kids.
Yeah.
Tyler's hanging out with some younger kids and stuff looking over there, but really it's not that much, and he does feel the youngest. And I'm still the other big thing I'm confused about this military institute that it seems to be for troubled boys and teens and girls there too. Why are these troubled students doing shooting practices, especially for one that is tied to murders?
Because discipline, Brian. This is
discipline.
This is all about learning the regimented discipline of being in the military, but you're not in the military, not even unofficially. You're just it's for the rigidity of the structure and nothing else.
I would get if it was like a summer boot camp like program where it's just
all year round.
Month you stay
just
there, but this is year round.
Brian, this isn't even on anybody. Like this is way pre-Columbine, so this isn't even on their radar to have like, should the troubled kid related to 6 different homicides be around an active shooting range? Nobody gave a shit. They're just like,
I don't think it has anything to do with Columbine so much as somebody who murdered people.
Well, I just
it's not like a school shooting thing as it is like this kid's a murderer.
Access to firearms. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
just in generality, where it's like that would never fly, but in 1991, whatever.
I don't know. I mean, I just think that like as part of the whole shtick of military school is that it includes that. Sort of like how like when I was in Boy Scouts, we had some like baby rifles that we would shoot when we went to scout camp.
Really?
It was just a thing.
Oh wow!
That you like learned how to shoot.
That's awesome.
I was always very bad. I had no aim. But
it's true.
It's just like part of the package, I think.
I didn't
know that either. I didn't do any scouts.
We did not. I did it up till Boy Scouts, and as soon as I got into Boy Scouts in 6th grade, I was like, "Oh, these are all older kids."
No, I mean, Boy Scouts. I think I know my brother did it, and I was doing Cub Scouts and stuff too. And I know that was like that makes more sense to me. That's like you're going there to go do this activity. You're a fucking Boy Scout. That means you're
do this.
Sure, you're learning how to do it properly.
We could make a whole different podcast series about the false image of Boy Scouts.
Totally.
Oh wait, how long were you a Boy Scout for?
So I quit when I was a freshman. Or maybe I was a sophomore in high school because I was getting more involved with like band and the drama club and other stuff. And I just like, my dad basically was like, you're only doing scouts for the fun stuff, like going camping, and you're not like committed to the other aspects of it. So I was like, community, and I was getting to the point where like, I would be, if we were camping for a whole weekend, I would have to miss the whole first day of Friday because I would have to go to a game with marching band, and then I would be rolling in like late at night.
But when did you start?
I was in Cub Scouts from when I was probably in like first or second grade, whenever you start with that.
Yeah, I did it first grade through fifth grade, and then
we blow,
stopped in
baby.
sixth.
Mm-hmm.
You a Weeblo?
Yeah, baby.
I was a Weeblo.
I was.
That's what I made it to.
The Weeblo
That's like the
is
last
like,
level of like Cub Scout, basically.
Oh,
yeah,
and then it's Boy Scouts.
And then it's Boy Scouts, and there are 6 levels of Boy Scout.
like we blow. What the?
Yeah, right. Like Jesus Christ, it was right in front of our face.
What is happening in Cub Scouts?
Boy Scouts is worse than
was the Weeblo right in front of your face?
That goes.
Oh God. Okay.
Okay. Also, listeners, if anybody has been to military school and is listening to this, please let us know and see the let us know the accuracy or inaccuracy of Kent Military School in Child's Play 3 specifically.
Because to me it does feel like that 90s, like this is what I imagined, what I as a child in the 90s imagined military school to be like, and that's what they're showing me.
Mm-hmm.
I also didn't know that there was a specific, like, you had a in-house barber. I was like, oh shoot, okay.
Well, I mean, that's not super surprising because it's all about the uniformity.
But anybody could do that. Hold up. Let me not say that. Hold up. It's a skill. It's an art. I'm just saying.
Well, for what they're doing in the military,
it's military cuts.
When they show the barber for the first time, a split second, just because of my profession, you see his eagle tattoo and the buzzing, and I go, "Is this motherfucker getting tattooed?" It's like, and then I lean over and he's just getting his hair cut. I was like, okay, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
See, it's funny because I came from the opposite end, because he's like shaving the kid's head and he's like, boom, you're bald. And then he still has an entire full head of hair. I'm like, that's not what that means.
Like, why would you? Yes.
Well, shout out. No, see, I think why he does it is because, like, if he just bicked everybody's head, he'd be out of the job for at least a few months. So I feel like he does like a 2-guard.
Don't say you're bald.
So he's like this. So every like week and a half, he goes, all right, Wednesday, come see me.
Right. But then he should just say, all right, done. Or, anything other than you're bald when you still have hair all over your head.
His eyesight isn't that great. You can see the haircuts.
But shout out to this
and
actor,
fucking
though.
Obsessed. He's like stalking the cafeteria. Yeah.
Oh my God. Uncle Frank? It's Hellraiser. I just know him from Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, this guy looks familiar. Where the fuck did I see him? I just found out he was an Hellraiser.
Hellraiser. He's dad and then Meat Suit Frank. Oh God. He's also.
Oh, he's that guy?
Yeah.
I'm not a big Hellraiser fan, but when you say Meat Suit Frank, I know who you're talking about.
At the very end where he's like adjusting his face and shit, where he's like, no, I'm totally your dad. Don't worry about it.
Oh, shoot. I remember when you first reached out to us, like the very first time, you guys were like, I think we're doing Hellraiser, but also possibly another movie, which was like, I think either you asked me about Quarantine or you suggested Quarantine. I don't know which way it was, but it was either Hellraiser or another movie.
Oh, yeah.
I think recently we talked about doing Hellraiser.
We talked
as our
about
next
it
a few times
too, but
yeah,
we'll get to Hell sometime
back
soon.
when
we visited with Jason,
but
we'll get there soon.
I'm already wondering what our next franchise is going to be.
We'll get there sometime. So many things we're getting to.
Right.
So
damn, we're still at the beginning of this movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tyler's stealing packages now.
That's a tough one.
At this point, we met Ronald Tyler. We've also met like Andy's roommate guy, Whitehurst. He's like this fucking nerdy, cowardly dude.
Bounding gags.
Kristen De Silva, who he gets like the fucking romantic vibes for.
Oh, hey.
And Shelton is the name of the lieutenant kid who's a fucking dick.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that guy sucks.
All this is developing. We get our fucking, I don't know, a lot of boring stuff happening realistically.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool, yeah. Whitehurst kind of is nerdy and awkward and just like takes shit from Shelton, shines his shoes and does whatever. And there's a part where at the shooting range and Andy's trying to shoot and notices the woman that he likes is fucking really good at it. So he's, hitting on her and all that good stuff.
Open both your eyes.
But eventually it leads to
like,
Tyler.
You gotta squeeze the trigger.
Having to deliver a package to Andy's room. And then I guess he realizes it's a good guy doll because, he
Someone
sees that
shoves
commercial in
Is
the
that
fucking...
what happened?
The barbershop. Yeah.
Yeah, when he's there, why the fuck is he so impressed by that thing? That commercial?
Because he's like 7 or 8 years old. He's like, this
holding
is
a fucking
awesome.
Game Boy Gear
that's
thing.
actually
That
really
he's
good point.
It's literally a fucking stupid cartoon of it's literally the cartoon that Andy saw. So it's an 8-year-old
I'm surprised they're
cartoon.
still airing that commercial.
I think it's just a way to shoehorn in the reference back to the first movie where you see Andy watching the commercial. He's like,
Because he goes, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay,
To be fair, when we were Game Boy age, I still would have been excited about a
Cartoons.
action figure.
It happens like 2 or 3 times during this movie, and the barber scene where the commercial and shit, where everything slows down. And whoa! And then
it is so dramatic.
Damn it! And they're practicing rifles when Andy sees Chucky for the first time too. He's like, oh my god, no!
His eyes almost dilate.
Or maybe that's why Tyler liked it so much, is because he was seeing Andy having a panic attack watching it. He goes, well, if that older kid is shitting his pants watching that, I should get that doll.
I also feel bad for this kid
all of a
because
sudden they just start rolling.
they gave him the biggest package to carry around that is exactly his size.
Yes.
And people are fucking bumping into him. He's the worst person to give this package.
And that's
to.
how he realizes it's a good guy doll, because it falls down 2.5 flights of stairs and then he rips open the side of it. He's like, oh yeah. Oh shit. I ain't giving this to Andy. I'm going to go to the armory and just
yep. The armory.
Why is this place open? Why can't anybody just come into this room?
It's 1991,
He just
baby.
has special access.
There's so much weaponry.
So many
this
guns.
military school.
Yes.
You're going to
have
do
live
rifle
grenades?
classes. Fine. All right.
Well, just
We're
in
doing
case
grenade
this
class.
school gets taken over or invaded, they have to be able to defend themselves.
There it is.
Oh my god.
There it is, indeed. So Tyler takes Chucky down. Chucky pops out, expecting it to be Andy. Wants to kill him, but it's not. So it's he freaks out, and he's.
They're gonna play hide.
That's
the
where he has
soul.
the realization. He's like, oh shit, new body, new soul. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Let's play hide the soul.
Haven't played that in a while. All we do is Dembala.
Yeah.
Yes.
This incantation is always just long enough to not work. The actual length, it varies.
The ending of this movie where he has to say the chant is fucking wild.
It's so
It's
long.
literally, it's so long. I feel for Chucky. I'm sorry that it's not working because.
Do you think because
honestly, is it
I was gonna say,
he just calls into Dembala and he's listening to the hold music as he's waiting.
it's like elevator music. Do you think it takes longer because he's been in the doll for so long? Is that instead of a quick zippy do, he's like, all right, I gotta
But
repeat
there's
this
a new
thing.
body though.
Oh, true.
I don't know how much time passes by in this movie, but it can't be that long. 2 days? All right. So there you go. Can't be that long.
2 days is gonna be the days.
All this nonsense happens, and eventually the fucking headmaster or whatever and
Movie's over.
dude comes in, is like, what are you doing with this stupid Chucky doll down here? Takes Chucky away. This is where we get the funny little scene of him
girls play with dolls. We get a little
Oh yeah, the toxic masculinity in this movie was pretty strong.
Oh yeah,
military.
which I think is intentional.
Based
on what we see from Don
this guy's
Mancini later.
a dick, guys.
Yeah.
It's very cold in my room, and I don't know why.
Are you shivering?
You're being haunted right now.
I figured as much. I just feel it on my back.
Can you not see him in your monitor? I see him from mine.
Wait, are you playing the movie in the background?
Playing it up here.
Oh yeah, I was like, wait, the movie's playing. I see it in a reflection.
Oh, that's fun. Oh yeah,
Like,
probably one of
what
those
part
back
are we?
there or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just fucking homeboy's carrying Chucky out by his head, and this is where Andy sees him from like across the
He gets
field.
traumatized.
And we get
I mean,
another
I will
freak out
say,
here.
Chucky looks
Holy
pretty terrifying in this scene where he's just like staring him down, like right at him.
Looking at him. I was waiting for the doll
I was
to
expecting
wink.
something.
Like a
Like a
wink.
wink?
or-
Wait, I was maybe
Yes.
trying to like flip the bird or something.
Something.
Because
A
that's
wink,
Just
so
a
like
little
him.
something.
Head
Eye
movement,
anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Sam.
I got
Not in the
I
budget,
gotta
baby.
say, this is the scene, and I want to say like a little bit before. This is a scene that made me want to like hurl because this is the part where it's like you gotta work your rifle, son. Like whatever. Like he's screaming at Andy, and then it's like, here, come tell him how to do the rifle right. And then he repeats a line from another movie,
Full Metal Jacket,
which is
yeah.
like,
Yep.
yeah. But I'm like the delivery, the way he says it, I'm like, I want to turn this movie off. I can't do it.
No, the second he did the like, this is my rifle, this is my gun, this is for fighting, this is for fun, while grabbing his junk, I was sitting there going like, oh god damn it.
See, but
Well,
this feels
invited
like
to
the most like
Goldblum.
actual like problematic teenage boy thing to happen.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, these teens probably would have seen Full Metal Jacket and been
It's like,
doing
fuck
And
Yeah.
been repeating
That's
the
true.
lines
This
from
is
it.
my
That is true.
God, because he says it all like stupidly too. But this leads to our dumpster death. Chucky gets
Dumpster
thrown in a
death.
dumpster right as the garbage man's coming in, and then like Chucky's in the back being like, "Oh, help me, Mister, I'm in here." So
Was this
the garbage
was
man
this
who
done-
probably knows you're supposed to climb into the back, right? As a garbage man, I'm sure that's
Absolutely.
When you hear that,
Oh, yeah,
you leave
let
it
alone
running.
keep it on.
Yeah, keys in, car running. Like you have to make it so that when you are putting yourself in this machinery that can crush you, that not only does nobody know you're in there, but that anyone can walk up and turn it on at any
Absolutely.
point. That is actually word for word what OSHA says.
Did this fucking did this garbage truck come from Indiana Jones Temple of Doom? Because the spinning wheel
the
with
level of
spikes
this.
that's in it, I was like, stop it. Fucking stop it. Like, are you kidding me? Like,
What's even Chucky's deal here? He like gets tossed in and he's like, "Oh, I'm in a dumpster. I know really quickly. Like, I'll kill this guy. So I'll instead of just climbing out and running off and doing whatever. Since I found myself here, I'll trick the driver into coming
Help
in here
me,
so I
mister.
can kill him. Like,
Well, because it doesn't buy
Why
him
did he
less
do that
time.
at
It's
all?
still running. Like it's still doing its shit. So
right,
like
exactly. But he could climb out on his own. Why don't you just move on quickly to go on to his killing?
Yeah.
Like he must have come up with that as
There-
the dumpster was moving through there.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
like, "Oh fuck, I've always wanted to do this. I'll call the driver in." Like,
no, I think you make a really good point, Sam, because there's so many parts of this movie where if he played it smart, he would just be lurking in the shadows and then just try to take over this little kid's soul. But instead does the most grandiose, like homicidal shit where you're just like, if he literally was just waited till everybody got to sleep and then like, hey, let's go out to the woods over here and do this real quick. Like, hey, hide and seek, you're it. This movie would have been done in like 20 minutes, but he's also a homicidal maniac. So like he has to be like, all right, I mean, how else am I going to kill a guy with a garbage truck? All right. Okay. That's never happened before. All right. I got to put that on the list.
I've been thinking about this since I was a little kid.
But first, he needs to hunt down Andy and reveal his master plan.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's
Sure.
he's a classic movie villain. He must tell you what he's doing while you're strapped to the thing that you definitely can't get out of.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
That's important. I do
James
like
Bond meets Chucky.
we do hear the garbage man die, and we see like his arm get crushed or whatever, and then
Yeah.
all the kids
A
run
little bit,
over.
Yeah.
I do like that they know how to operate a garbage truck.
They did that really
Yeah,
fast.
just anyone.
Badly.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd have no idea what
I
of those
was like,
16
is this
levers to pull.
levers?
I just started pulling all
Chucky
of them.
knew how to do it too.
Chucky knew too, but yeah, maybe they teach you that at a military school as well. For the ones that aren't performing too well, they also teach them
How to be a
how to
sanitation
just
worker.
like do other work. You can't shoot a
Right.
gun, you can be a garbage man. So all that bullshit happens. Fucking what
Chucky's in Andy's like locker
And in his room now.
and then like kind of reveals himself like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
We get another stupid attack, that leads to nothing ultimately happening. And
well, I like that he's punching Chucky in the face, and then Shelton comes in and is like, "You play with your dolls?"
Yeah, it's just more that bully nonsense of Shelton just being a dick coming in
and toxic masculinity as well.
Oh, a lot of it. Now we do eventually get to Chucky fucking killing the barber. That's a decent death, I guess.
That's a great kill.
That is a great kill.
In this movie,
yes.
Because it has some level of like practical effect here.
Oh, totally. Well, before that, we get the heart attack.
Oh, did we skip all that?
Oh, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Because he tried to steal back the doll.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then...
right.
You're right.
Yeah. So we have the cat and mouse thing, and then the fucking Cochran shows up, and he's like, "What's going on?" And then Chucky goes, "Booga, booga, booga," and that causes this man to have a fatal heart attack on top of his Warhammer miniatures in his office, and then he just lurches and dies. But this, I think, Brian, you said it. Chucky says what we're all kind of subconsciously thinking this entire movie, which is, "You gotta be fucking kidding me."
Well, but exactly, it would work if all the other deaths were kind of spectacular and this one wasn't.
Right.
But none of them are spectacular, so it doesn't work as a juxtaposition to everything else and make it humorous.
Also,
you could say that about almost every death.
I love that this guy's like, "You can't play with dolls. That's girly. Girls play with dolls. Men play with miniatures that are set up on a battlefield."
The whole miniature
Exactly.
set.
I love that that hypocrisy.
Family thing.
I do find it funny that Tyler is giving Chucky the roundabout because he's like, "Well, I hate fucking hide the soul. That's a whack game, but let's play hide and seek." And then you have Chucky playing hide and seek with Tyler in here, and I feel bad for him
totally.
a little bit.
You feel bad for Chucky?
I do feel bad for Chucky.
Okay.
He's like, "Fuck, this kid, just fucking do what I say."
Fucking kid. So some more nonsense happens, and then we get to another kill that's actually finally decent in the context of this movie, which is our barber.
Yeah.
Getting his throat slit. So
Sergeant
that's definitely a fun scene. Yeah.
Because he finds Chucky in his like barber
And then he decides to give the doll a
whatever
haircut.
it is. He's like, "Oh great, I'm gonna fucking cut this doll's hair because I fucking love cutting hair. Look at this fucking hair. That's way too fucking long. I'm gonna cut this goddamn shit. That way nobody can slit this doll's throat."
Hey man,
That's pretty
some
accurate.
people just see some hair and need to
have
cut
to.
it, and that's he's probably was in Nam and like suffered a little bit of head damage or something like that.
I'm gonna go fondle my sweaters.
Exactly. It's an American wet hot American summer situation.
Wet hot American summer.
Yeah. So
fondue cheddar.
right as he's about to get in there and get shaven with the buzzer, Chucky goes and grabs like a fucking straight razor that's just dangling off the side of the chair.
Yeah,
because that's where you keep your straight razors, right?
Whose face is he shaving?
That's true. What is even that for?
Well, I guess there's some older people there, right? He probably takes care of
the teachers.
Perhaps.
I don't think there's one person in this cast that has a beard. I honestly don't think so.
Well, exactly, because he's shaving them.
But the adults are probably shaving themselves like daily or every other day.
Not these adults. They go to him.
If you got someone who can do it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean.
He's
okay. That's fair. I guess.
This is where the suspenders of disbelief starts kind of slipping off a little bit.
Yeah, at this point you can't make sense of it. But he slits his throat, right?
Yes.
I lost him in the first scene.
He says another liner.
It's a nice little slit.
Nice.
Oh my god!
Oh wow!
Oh, I don't like that.
Well,
I'm sorry.
All right, Chucky.
All right, Chucky, you need to save that. You need to save that sound bite.
Oh no! It's a nice. Nope.
Nope.
Not repeating that. Not repeating that. I'm not touching that.
Yeah.
to move us past this.
But he goes, presto.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Presto,
In,
you're dead.
In the kill count video, they include a little snippet of Don Mancini wanted to specifically reference Sweeney Todd with that scene.
Oh, nice.
Makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
100%.
Nice.
Oh, this also, Whitehurst witnesses this too. So, Annie's roommate now knows that Chucky actually is alive.
Ben doesn't do anything. He just goes to
Doesn't
fall
do
in line
shit.
because it's time to start our fucking like military, wars.
Cody said this in our reaction when we watched it, and Cody was like, so many things could have been prevented if Whitehurst had just said something. If he just spoke up at any point.
Why is he afraid? Why is he so afraid to say something?
Because
even when Andy is like, I know what you saw.
Yeah. Because the new guy's
Think
being
about
like
what happened
crazy,
to Andy's mom.
and then he's already like an outcast. But Whitehurst to me is the same as the fucking was the translator from Saving Private Ryan, the guy that does nothing while his fucking comrades are getting murdered. Where I'm like, that's the level of disgust.
No.
I was like,
Been too long.
I was like, God damn it, are you fucking kidding me? Like, literally, this whole movie could have been done where it's like, no, go now. Like, he's right, Andy's right.
I do have this theory that I don't know if it's true or not, but I've only seen 2 movies where I've seen it proven right, that if you have glasses and if you're in any kind of like military movie, you are getting killed in that said movie. I always feel like anyone who has glasses, they're going to kill in that movie.
If your eyes need
Definitely true in Predator.
correction,
He's the
you
first
are.
one.
Yeah, right? Oh, I think it was Predator. I was like, this guy's getting killed.
If you need assistance to see you're a lesser human being and you don't deserve life.
Okay, wait, hold up a minute.
No, that's true. How else do girls get hot in movies?
They
take off their glasses
Hair
and
down.
pull their hair down.
I say that to your listeners as the only person here wearing glasses.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I have contacts.
Now, I believe we have at least... Ross, do you have contacts too, or is it just Brian?
I have contacts. I don't know. Ross was too busy taking his hair down.
Look at that mane. Oh my God. Yes. Look at that. Hold up.
Okay.
You don't have to rub it in my face, man.
You should rub it in his face.
That's
though.
true. Yeah.
Next
Give me
time
some
you
of
see
it
him.
over there.
Yes.
Mail it over. Mail it over.
Just a lock. I'll
I'll wear it for the next recording.
So war
Where were
games, the war games, they're going on as
The war games.
proceeded. Cochran
Capture
would have
the
wanted
flag.
that. He was a man of tradition. We got red team and
Right.
blue team.
Which-
they got paintballs.
There's a lot of complaints about this movie, but I wish the war games had been talked about throughout the movie as a build up to this third act, and not all of a sudden and now it's the war games. It just would have made it more.
I mean,
don't know.
I just wish that we had stayed in it because, we announced the war games and I'm like, all right, paintball and capture the flag. This sounds real fucking fun, and then we immediately pivot and go elsewhere.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
I would. Yeah.
And ballistic paintballs too, but paintballs on the end of like a gunpowder
Blasting
well,
caps.
it's like a shell with paint on the end instead
That go
of
in a normal rifle. I don't know about that, but I wish the whole movie or a lot of the movie took place within the scope of the war games, because that would be fun. Have Chucky running around through the
that would've
woods,
been
fucking
interesting.
killing people off, and
And honestly, it would have been interesting to throw Andy in where his first day is the war games. That would have been an interesting dynamic with all the other.
Because you do
characters.
like this whole. I mean, this whole ending really does take you through places because you have Chucky in the woods and then Chucky at a carnival, and it's just like out of nowhere. But I do love the settings.
Giant spider. Third act.
Sure. The carnival's fine, but I feel like they're just trying to repeat the fucking Toy Factory from 2.
Yes.
It just felt like a complete rehash.
And the Toy Factory in 2 is like,
Yeah.
It's that much better.
One of my favorite things.
Well, yeah. It's also that giant fuckaroo when Chucky realizes what team Andy's on. So he replaces all of the fucking paintball ammunition for the red team with live ammunition.
Mm-hmm. That seems great. That seems like kind of
for both teams,
just
for
the
one
red team.
Just the red team, which I have to admit, I think this
Chucky
is
would have done both teams.
Pretty sinister thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
That
no, it's great.
That
This
I was like,
in terms
wow.
of this was the one moment in the movie where I was like, oh, you're like, pretty bad. Shit. You're just loading this up and like laughing about it. If we think about our past 2 movies of Child's Play, we've talked about how like sinister Charles Lee Ray was like at so many points of like he's really fucking with like we haven't mentioned that at all. We're just like he's saying stupid shit and doing whatever. This is the only part in this movie where I'm like, oh, this is kind of actually.
Ooh, he is a bad guy. Yeah. That's right. This is Charles Lee Ray. And
we should be scared of him a little bit
because he's like fucking loving the idea of like all of these kids are just gonna go blast and like he's like I don't care who gets shot but
we never really get a whole bunch of payoff with this, right? Nope. Like we know not that I'm saying I would like to see a bunch of children get murdered by other children, but I like I'm not saying that unequivocally. I am not saying that, but I feel like we saw this thing and then we're like oh, and then we never come back to it.
No, one person gets shot.
One person gets shot, and then they're like, "Hold up, it's live ammunition," and then they stop.
According to IMDb trivia, it was supposed to be a bloodbath, but for whatever reason, they probably because you can just be like shooting a bunch of kids. They didn't want to show all these children shooting each other.
See, that's the thing, though. That's the thing. It's a great idea, but you're gonna have to have the balls to pull it off.
Because, 91, I think was I don't think they could have pulled that off in 91. I think today it could have. They may have.
I think they might go for it.
Really, I feel like today is less likely to be done because of all the school shootings and everything that are so prominent.
This country's really cared about doing anything about all those school shootings. But no, I get what you're saying. But like
in cinema, cinema has. Like we know for sure that movies have changed post Columbine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like going to be. I mean, yeah, it is. Something.
I'm not talking about gun laws. I'm talking about people making movies.
I'm talking about movies too. I feel like I watched.
Sam, I'm going to play devil's advocate because I've seen more child death in the last 3 years of movies than I have in like the 80s or 90s combined. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
That's what I was going to say. I
don't know if the shooting aspect would be different. You know what I mean? But like,
that's the other thing too.
That's the big part of it. But that is the big part of it.
Yeah. I don't know.
But it would have been fucking awesome to see that.
Fuck them kids. Let's keep going. Well, see, and Don Mancini could write whatever the fuck he wanted. Been like, this would be cool. He doesn't have to actually make it. You know what I mean?
So, I mean, all this leads to fucking, I don't know where we're at. Chucky gets everyone leading together. What's his name? The asshole lieutenant dude gets shot because of those bullets.
That's right. He abducts the girlfriend and puts him by the Jeep. And then they all show up to the location.
Oh, this is when fucking Whitehurst sacrifice. What's his name?
Whitehurst. Yeah, because fucking Chucky has a goddamn live grenade out of nowhere. No context, no backstory where he got the grenade. He just has a fucking grenade. He pulled the pin and he just
picked it up when he was switching out the bullets.
While he was in the ammunition and like fully arming himself. He has the fact that they have
grenades there is kind of wild. It's just so
amazed by the lack of control over the like live ammunition that they are storing in large quantities here.
But I will give it to Whitehurst is that for all the stuff that he didn't say or do, he did make up for it by jumping onto a live grenade to save all of his school buddies.
Yeah.
Which I don't think he needed to do. But
bullies, you mean? Not buddies. His school bullies.
School buddies. None school bullies. No one ever like
Andy and what's her name were the closest nearby. You know what I mean? Where it's like those were the only two that were like semi-nice to him.
But I kind of did want a little bit more of an oomph to his character. To throw that fucking grenade. Yeah, like I feel like during the movie, they should have had more things of him being like, you're the wuss. He's struggling with this a little bit. He's trying to be like the hero a little bit.
And I totally would have loved to have seen just him explode into a million pieces. Like, just Whitehurst.
I don't know if that's like realistic how
Whitehurst webbing just everywhere.
Well, this is Child's Play 3, and we don't have Gore.
No, we don't get that.
We'll get a little bit with Chuck coming up.
Yeah,
he grabs. No, Tyler runs away, right?
Yeah, this is when we get up to the carnival nonsense. Mm-hmm. They run away, and there's a carnival nearby for some reason.
Yeah,
and Tyler flees there Chucky kills a security
guard
guard
by shooting him in the head by stealing like a gun out of his drawer.
Off screen, and then we just see the body with like a red dot and a little blood.
What is up with the mom and dad with the 2 daughters? Because there's like 3 scenes in that carnival thing where you're following them,
follow them
for no fucking reason. It's hilarious. Where it's like, all right, honey,
I must have tuned that out. At this point, I'm like not even paying enough attention.
Yeah, exactly.
To pick that
I'm
up.
like, we're doing this thing. I didn't notice him a couple times. So we're going through this.
The dark ride.
Tyler gets captured again. Andy and De Silva eventually get to the carnival, and they take the security guard's gun.
Yes.
And they follow Chucky and Tyler into the haunted house roller coaster.
Yeah, that weird dark ride
place.
Roller coaster thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So eventually we get to this part of this confrontation where this giant scythe thing sweeps down and cuts off a piece of Chucky's face.
Like cleaves his like cheek eyeball clear off. Wait,
we should not have this
Best gore of
machine
the
in
whole
this
movie.
this haunted house.
Yeah. So like
Right?
that's
that should be
there.
dull.
Yeah,
shouldn't it?
I was going to
What's
ask
going on?
about that. Like in a place like this, they're most definitely going to have that as sharp as possible, right?
That's like
Oh yeah, I mean this is early 90s,
It
so
break when it hit him.
100% definitely.
but
though I will
perfect.
say
Well, it's
I would've
probably
loved
also
this
in
ride,
line
yeah.
with the open fan system that's right on the ground.
that should have been covered.
No,
What the hell
this
is
is
happening here?
right.
This is
Gigantic.
Everyone's supposed to be. This is why you keep your hands and legs inside the vehicle at all
I mean,
times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The fan's on the ground.
You were warned. If you take them out, it's your fault. This is clearly defined.
No, my ass would have been hit by those carts. Like, you know how many times they were dodging those ride vehicle things? I'm like, no,
Andy did a good job in
I
there.
would have died immediately.
Well, I mean, that industrial
So-
fan, I mean, the whole tussle and all that kind of shit is ensuing, and we're going all throughout this thing, but eventually it does lead to Andy throwing Chucky into that industrial metal fan that's just sitting on the...
blows his arm off.
the ground.
After
Gets
like 20 minutes of
shredding
him
him apart.
chanting the
Oh.
Dumbella thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
That goes on for so long.
On top of this fake
So
volcano, gets his arm blown off. Because
Mhm.
this is he uses the shooting range. He goes, all right, both eyes open, deep breath. Just pulled it. I like that he talks to him. He's coaching
We
himself.
fucking
while
get
he's
it.
doing
Oh my
In
God.
case you missed that scene earlier,
Right.
it's supposed to be full circle.
It's like, God damn
And
it.
he throws him into the fan. Boom. Ground chuck.
Ground chuck. Nice, I get it.
Oh,
And that
Nice.
kills him. De Silva gets rushed off to the hospital, and Andy's taken and
It's
whatever for
so
questioning or something, and
funny
then we're just like,
how abruptly
done.
this movie ends. Like it just
Oh,
goes like
yeah.
do and then just that's it.
also, there's just like this weird orchestration where it goes, drill, like a big hurrah at the end where I thought I missed something, but it's just the ending credits.
That's
And I'm like, oh,
Nope.
okay,
Yep.
that's where we end.
fool you.
I do have to. I totally don't know what happens to Andy after this.
That's
Obviously-
important.
I'm very curious
Actually, I thought
to know what they make up later on in the
Yeah.
series.
when he's getting like arrested or whatever, going in the back of the cop car, and the girl that he's had the crush on is going off for something else, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm used to this," or something. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, Andy, like your life's
It
does
really
Yeah,
does.
you're going to
suck.
jail.
This is the-
You're going to jail.
This is the trilogy of just Andy's life going down the toilet. Like, obviously, I wasn't there for part 2, but for part 2, my
Toilet
biggest complaint
trilogy.
was like, oh my God, you've already ruined this kid's life. This is like emotionally beating a dead horse, where you're just like, come on, now you're just going to just ruin this kid's foster care system? Like, Jesus.
stoning a dead Bjorn.
I mean, because at this point, there's really no one else to blame but Andy. Like, he could have done all of these things.
Yes.
Like,
I thought you meant like it's his fault Chucky did all
I
of
honestly blame him. He had it coming.
it.
let's go ahead and jump into our crematorium of questions.
Oh, yeah.
Creamy.
All right, so crematorium of questions got us asking if we're going to survive this one and how we're doing it. So I guess we're in military school.
If we're on the blue team,
the shuttle
gonna
bus
be
goes to
pretty
military
fucking
school.
difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna. It's gonna be tough. Well,
I'm
guess
team.
what? I'm not a delinquent, so I'm not gonna be here. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna be cutting hair.
I mean,
There
actually,
you go.
honestly, I think we're going to be fine. I don't think any of us are going to be the Lieutenant Dickhead. He's the only one that gets really killed by Chucky.
Also, the amount of firearms and weaponry on this
Might get
fucking
scared to death.
military school is like you can arm yourself to the fucking teeth against Chucky.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I ain't really
Well, Chucky
scared.
goes ballistic. He's getting all that.
Yeah.
Well,
He's there first.
call me X or Sever, as we did this before, and I'll take care of him,
Yeah.
no problem.
Bring that bit back.
Bring it
Call
back.
me Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, I think this is pretty survivable. How about you, Sergio, Cody? Agree?
I agree.
Yeah.
Cool. Good.
Cool.
Hey, Sam, I think we know how you feel, and I think I agree too. How do we feel about the goo level on this one?
Bump it up
Mhm.
about 10 notches. Okay, so the first two aren't that gory or gooey, but they are certainly more than this one. So just give me a bit more in every single kill we get. Honestly, the only one that's acceptable is the barber's death.
Yeah.
So
I want marionetted corpse of Mr. Sullivan. I want a firing squad of the red team just nuking half of the blue team.
Oh my god.
Would be just fucking brutal. That would be fucking brutal. And then I think I feel like
Sorry, it doesn't seem like the juxtaposition of the marionetted guy versus like children getting murdered in the same movie.
Yeah, it's I'm saying
seeing them get
it's
shot
Child's
at
Play
that.
3
Yeah.
and it's 1991. Anything is possible.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. With Ross and Sam, I want both of those situations, so that'll be great. I have a feeling we lost Sam. I don't think he's taking a very long.
No,
drink.
he's drinking. It's just so good. He's just
He's still drinking.
embracing it right now.
He's just really and thinking too, because his eyes are open. He's just-
With eyes wide open.
So we'll see if Sam rejoins us. He's
Yeah.
having some computer issues. He's probably recording still. I know he's recording his audio separately on a different computer
That's
still.
good.
So whatever he's saying, I'll
Oh,
just
I
throw that in
wonder.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he can still say his thoughts.
Hopefully it's fun. Hopefully it's
Yeah.
just not just like if it is just a stream of cussing, I'll put that in too.
Just in case, I will just say, I agree, Sam. That's right on the money. Right on the money.
Sam,
Right.
Sam, good point. Good point. I mean,
Point.
I
Wow,
don't
you really
fully
just said that. You really
back
just said
those
that.
views, but I understand where you're coming from. All right, so that's our goo. We're gonna go over to our villain level now, on a scale of 1 to 10, with our power level in iconography. What do we put in at? Chucky.
Oh,
I mean, iconography. He still gets a 5.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really hard because he's gonna be an icon
He's-
still.
it's still-
for even
yeah.
for this movie.
It's like a free space for him at this point.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I feel like, but the power level on this one is. I don't know if it should be less or more, because this is the first time he has a live grenade.
Yeah,
Like he's got
Well,
like actual
yeah.
firearms and explosives in this film. Like,
yeah, and he's still not that good with them.
no, he's
Yeah,
terrible
I was
with
gonna
them.
say I feel like I would rather judge him by how he used the resources that were available to him. And in this movie, I think the answer is fairly poorly.
I
Yes,
think so.
I
I
agree.
think. I mean, he's like losing the kid that he needs to gather to switch souls. He has to like go through things. People are manhandling him. He can't even kill a guy because he had a heart attack. So he's like, what the fuck? So like, he's not really as powerful in this one as he usually would be.
I totally agree.
Sure. Yeah. Makes sense to me. I think he's just not that. He just doesn't have that oomph. And he, like I
Yeah.
said, he doesn't feel vicious enough. I wanted him to be more vicious if it really was about that revenge towards Andy at any point. Okay, cool. So does this one here deserve the sequel? And what's your sequel idea if you got one? I'm going to say no. I mean, like, yeah, I mean,
Yes and no, as in
yes and no, obviously, because we're at the third in a kind of supernatural slasher thing, so I'm there for seeing more of it, but I'm not like gonna be like I'm gonna throw down for the fucking Kickstarter on this one. Basically, I'm like, all right, you fucking put your money in, you put your money where their mouth is.
Totally, like if you crowdsource it, maybe. But again, this would be the best introduction to an army of Chuckies. Like after this Chucky dies, because of the vat of blood tainted goo, then there would be like a bunch of them coming out of the woodworks.
Yeah, I think this it reached its peak. Like if I would have thought, I would say like, yeah, that's the ending. You cut him up into little pieces, and I don't think the story needs to go further. Andy's like says his little line, says goodbye, and I think that's it.
The only other sequel that I really would have liked to have seen is that, unbeknownst to Andy, the ritual worked. So when he threw Chucky into the fan, it was actually little Tyler. and Tyler's body is now Chucky, and now Chucky is like slowly building up his serial killing again.
Okay, wait. You just regained confidence in me. I would follow that.
I'll take it too. All right, this soundtrack, I don't really recall it or score.
Does it have a soundtrack?
No.
I don't know.
Therefore, I'm not buying it on vinyl.
Nope.
I'm not buying this one for sure.
That's a no from me, dog.
Big no.
Sam likes to say that.
Yeah.
All right, is anything action figure worthy? Sure, I'll take Chucky from this.
The sliced off face Chucky.
I would love a match, like the Matchbox car race, like the racetracks of the dark ride, and then part of the mechanism would be just just get a Chucky doll that gets his face slashed off, so you can kind of have the entire ambiance of it.
I mean?
Interesting. Yeah, sure.
I would love that.
I would like a Chucky that like comes apart as like a 3D puzzle.
Ooh,
you can put them back together.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good one.
I would like a Chucky that is in the box, and then you press a button and he like pops out of the box, just like he does with Tyler.
Yeah, nice.
I would like that.
That'd be great.
And then does he also say, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah, he has to.
It's an alarm clock. It's an alarm clock.
Yes.
Who the fuck?
So this is the merch. So this is the merch. What kind of merch is that you want? And props.
Yeah.
So great. The alarm clock, prop wise, I'll take that sliced Chucky face. I'll take the sliced piece of Chucky.
Oh yeah, that flies off.
Just like the sliver. That flies off.
I take I'm assuming it's around the garbage man's severed arm.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. That's good.
I don't know. I feel like one of those kids like picked it up and like stuffed it in their pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm keeping this for later.
I mean, that's all I think I got on our crematorium. So we're going to go over to our ratings. We're also going to start with you tonight. But before we get to you, we're going to pull out our finger. We're going to pull out our fingers and rip them off.
Where were they before?
Rate this film. So that's chopping off 0 to 5 fingers. Each finger relates to a different category for how we feel about the film. And we have recently introduced the idea of 0.25 quarter fingers.
0.25?
If you're feeling it. So we'll get into that now. Ross, kick us off.
Okay. So, oh man, engaging is going to get a 0.5 for me. It would, well, shit. You know what? I think it's going to get a 0.25 because I did hypothetically pause this movie about 6 or 7 times each time I watched it to do other stuff. So I was moderately disengaged, but not to shit on the movie. That may also be in part because of the USA amount of scenes that I remember seeing, being like, oh, I saw this, I can pause this, oh, this is fine, I can pause that. Sticky, okay, so Sticky's gonna get a 0.5. It's there are some good one-liners in here, and there are some things that are going to stick with me, like especially the maniacal laughing of Chucky as he's just putting live ammunition into all of the rifles. Like that scene to me is so maniacal, and probably one of the only Charles scenes that we get of just like how fucking demented he is. And also the face slashing at the end. T-shirtable. Ooh. T-shirtables. Yeah, this is fucking tough. I'll give a 0.25 for T-shirtable for this one. Because it's Chucky. So like I could definitely have a Chucky on this, but out of all of the Child's Play and Chucky films, this is dead last on owning a shirt for it. You know what I mean? Like I think there's definitely other Child's Play 3 is going to be at the bottom. Like if this was on like, Fright Rags for 90% off because they did this overstocked run where I'd be like, all right, I could get this for like $4. Like that's fine. Oh man, Cockles is going to get a 0.5. I think there's certain scenes that like it revs, like the beginning scene where like they impaled on the claw machine, you get the impalement and the goo going in there. Like that's good. Like this, like the rifle scene is awesome. Even the guy has a heart attack and you gotta be fucking kidding me. It got my cockles, even if it was like not even anti-cockles, but it was like, this is so ridiculous. This is almost getting spoofy. And then rewatchable. Oh, I'm not going to say I'm never going to see this. Oh my. I don't say I'm going to ever not see this again. This one I would also give a 0.25 to. Like, I think in the series of Child's Play and Chucky films, again, this goes dead last. Like this would be, if you're going to watch it chronologically, totally understand that. But if you're doing by like the heavy hitters, like by your favorite to least favorite, this would be the ending of most of my Child's Play series.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I have no idea.
That gives you a 1.75.
Okay. Yeah. I could say, I'll keep it this way. It may bump up to a 2, but I feel like 1.75 for this one is nice, if not generous.
Sam, he bumped off, but he gave us his scores here. So engaging, he gave it a 0.5. The beginning isn't too bad, but as the movie goes, I lose interest. Sticky, 0.25. Being generous and assuming I'll remember this one is at a military school. T-shirtable, 0.25. Half-face Chucky is cool, but that's all I got. Cockles, 0.5. For all my shit talk, there's something so 90s about it that it gives my cockles a little tickle. And rewatchable 0.25. The only reason I'd ever watch this is if I was watching all the Chucky movies again, and even then, I might skip it. 1.75 feels low, but I'll keep it for now and see if re-ratings bring it any higher.
Oh shit, Sam
has it right there with you as well. Engaging, I am going to give it a 0.25 as well. It's just kind of like only there a little bit for me. There's parts that I thought are cool, but otherwise I lose interest pretty quickly. Sticky is going to get a 0.5. I'll give it to, because I do remember the military school and I do remember various aspects of it, but I think that's just gotta find it at the right time. T-shirtable, I'll give it the 0.25, kind of for the same reasons that you did, Ross. Like it's Chucky, so there's some cool stuff that you can certainly have on it, cut off face Chucky and everything. But ultimately, Child's Play 3 isn't the one that I need or want to be representing. Cockles, I'll give it for the 0.5 for almost the same reason Sam did. The kind of very 90s weird aspect to what is going on in this film works for that. And rewatchable, I'll give it, hey, this is so fun, a 0.25, which puts me at a 1.75 as well.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So that's unanimous with the Chuddle scale. But now we're going to go to the horror scale, horror bandwagon, horror scale, bandwagon scale, the wagon scale,
the wagon
scale. All right,
whatever. But you're using the Chuddle scale on the wagon scale.
That's true. That's fair.
I'm going to stop rambling and jump over to you guys. Sergio, Cody, who wants to go first?
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. So I, as frequent listeners may know, I'm one to buck trends. And I'm going to make the argument that fingers come in 3 segments, so I'm going to rate on thirds.
Ooh.
And
whoa.
So engaging, I don't even know if I can give this one a third. I might give this one a 0 because I just
okay, sure.
As I said before, I've only seen this once, and like that's fair. Normally, like when we're watching stuff, I'm taking notes. We were watching this together, so I couldn't really take a lot of notes. But even like watching a recap 2 days later, I still did not remember a lot of the movie. It didn't stick with me, so I'll bump it up to a third because Chucky is just Chucky. He's Chucky. Sticky, I'll give a 0. I think that's fair. T-shirtable, I'm gonna have to give this, I'm gonna say 2/3 because originally I was thinking, what T-shirt would I possibly want?
Change their scale. Now they gotta do like math. They're more math than they've needed to. My God.
I'm gonna end things with a round number, so don't worry about it. I'm going to give T-shirtable 2/3 because originally I was thinking like, I have no clue like what kind of T-shirt I would want. But in the kill count, James was wearing a shirt from this movie that had Chucky with like half the face off, and he had like the like belt of bullets across the shoulder.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And like just standing there, and it looked pretty cool. I would wear that T-shirt. Cockles, I think I would give this. I would give this one a 2/3 again because I just love Chucky. I love Chucky himself. I think he brings this movie up a little bit. Rewatchable, I'll give it 1/3 because I would watch it again if we were watching the whole series, but I wouldn't watch it on its own. So that's going to leave me at a 2. Nice round numbers so that I don't mess up the math too much.
Beautiful. Love it. That's great.
All right.
Sergio.
Engaging. I'm gonna go with a 0.25 with this because it's not the most engaging, and I will admit I will be doing other stuff while this movie is in background. I'll go for like the major scenes, but like I'm just not gonna be fully like watching the whole thing unless you force me, like being on camera. Sticky, there's a lot of memorable stuff in this movie. I think there's specific things that I remember, like the beginning, the end. So I'm gonna give that I'll give it a 0.5 because there's not as many as I would like. T-shirtable, I'm gonna give this a 1. I would wear a lot of stuff, a lot of imagery from this, even like that in the background right there. Yeah, that is hot. I would wear that. It's hot. Cockles. Oof. I want to say just because like I'm just so connected to it with my childhood, but like to be fair, of the movie alone, disconnected from that, I will give it a 0.5. I would give it a 0.5. Other movies in this franchise do it a lot more for me. And rewatchable 0.5 as well. That's it. That's me.
That's you. It's a 2.75.
2.75.
Great. So that's the highest of us, but
that's
not too bad. It's not like it's, you're not coming out here saying it's a 5 or anything.
It's a 5, guys.
Going on to our club score, seeing what everyone else says. Weird comes in and gives us, she says about 3.5 fingers, she thinks. Engaging, a 0.5. T-shirt, 1, give me all the Chucky shirts. Rewatchable, 1, I will always watch Chucky. Cockles, 0.5, it's enjoyable while I'm watching it. And Sticky is a 0.5. Took me a minute to remember which one this was, so 3.5. Not too bad. T-Boo comes in. Engaging, 1, I watched this one as much as part 2 growing up because of the USA Network, and following the story into Annie's teenage years was an awesome way to continue the franchise. Sticky, 1, from the vat of blood and wax to the most epic Halloween carnival of all time, this movie has stuck. T-shirtable, 1, definitely shirtable. Chucky's face by the end, again, surrounded by a Halloween horror carnival. Yeah, you could always do some awesome army stuff with the shirt from this one. Child's play camo, y'all. Cockles, 1, rocking my goggles big time. Chucky is funny and sinister and thoroughly demented. Paintball? I think not. Rewatchable, 1, I've watched it a ton and then we'll watch it some more. I'd recommend this to a friend to the end. Heidi ho. Ha. And he's throwing grenades at the screen for the midnight show.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, so he gives this one a 5. And we had a new one pop in from the Horror Junkies. I forget which one of them, they're another podcast, runs their Discord, but they popped in to say, my constant thought of this movie is why not just burn this little fucker every time he shows up? Like, I'd have some kerosene and matches on deck at all times. Maybe some hairspray and a lighter. Just fucking shoot him and all that kind of shit. So that's what the club's thinking. TP's giving it 5. Then we got a 3.5. So everyone's coming in a little bit higher with you guys. Still, even with your scores mixed into there, it's still, I think, a little bit higher than the 1.75 that us Chuttlemen give it. Let me go ahead and like pull up our little where it sits in the club.
Where
the charts? Like, pull the numbers.
Charts.
Where in the crypt charts does it lay?
It lays low. It lays.
Uh-oh.
Maybe I set it to round up or something because it says the total Chuttle score is a 1.8. And I'm like, well, how does 1.75 averaged 3 times come to a 1.8? Because I put this column to round up because I think on one of the averages it would give us like a 3.66666666 or something, or a repeating number. So I was trying to avoid that. 1.75 sits us right around Cheap Thrills, which has a 1.7. Murder Party has a 1.8.
Oh god. Okay.
And Jason Goes to Hell, so something we were speaking to earlier, is a 2.0. Anything that's really below it is like Curtains, Halloween Ends, Antichrist, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation, or
so it's a good company.
It's in great company, according to us.
I don't know. Like I'm thinking like Jason Goes to Hell and this movie, same caliber. Oh man.
No, and technically, Jason Goes to Hell is a better film.
Yeah. Right? I'm like, wait, am I okay.
Okay. All right. That's going to conclude the Chuttle Club meeting for tonight. Don't forget to jump into our Discord, follow us on our socials, do all that kind of good stuff. Before you get those, don't forget we had some awesome guests joining us. Hello. Hopefully continuing this as we get into much better movies. No, are you guys going to drop off now? You don't want to cover like Chucky anymore?
Like, fuck this. No, man.
No, we did Child's Play. We're done, right?
Are you fucking kidding me? I'm out of here. Out of here.
Sergi. I combined your names, Sergio and Cody.
Hey,
thank you so much for coming back on.
Well, thank you for having us on, as always.
You need to watch their reactions. You need to watch their YouTube channel, their podcast. My wife and I watch your reaction videos all the time on YouTube, and they are so much fucking fun. So those would be in our show notes.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having us on here all the time. And I'm glad that you still want to. So,
always and forever.
Now, for everyone listening, yes, we have a YouTube channel. If you want to see us watch some of these movies, head over there. And we have a Patreon. We also have a Discord. We have, what else? I think that's it. I think that's the major one.
We got a mail
club.
Have
a podcast that we're gonna get back into. I promise. We're gonna be also discussing films at some point, but it's coming. It's coming along. But yeah, thank you guys.
Our pleasure. And don't forget to follow Ross at Ross Purvis on Instagram. Sam at Chuttle the Sam on Letterboxd. I'm on Letterboxd as well. Chuttle the Brian. Follow all of us at Chuttle the Pod on pretty much all the places. Email us. I don't know, go onto our YouTube, join the Patreon, do all the fun things.
I cannot wait to watch more videos on your YouTube. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
I have to remember that they're actually going to be my face online, because sometimes during those interviews you could clearly tell that I was like, just slack-jawed, drooling a little bit.
No.
My eyes start drifting off into different directions.
No way.
Well, if you want to see all that, jump on the YouTube, and until next time, avoid the time limit.